I can't wait to hear you guys' favorite from Shadow Garden.
Let's see. What was that?
We can hear you, Kyle. You just have to
Okay,
put
okay,
on
okay.
that. Yeah.
Oh, did now?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, 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 I hear you. It's just not coming through my headset, which is weird. Like going through the audio and everything.
You just have to unplug sometimes and plug back in.
You would have to if you click on the little arrow, well, you got to check your volume settings on your computer,
Yeah, I'm used to this whole computer thing.
and then he said, "I'm used to this whole computer thing," but he can't hear through his headset.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if you can figure this out. Nah, look at
All
him.
right, we're just gonna roll with it.
He can't figure it out. He's used to this whole computer thing, but he ain't used to figuring stuff out.
He don't want you telling him what to do, old man. Come on.
That's more like it, yeah.
That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Not anymore, man. Hi, I'm Edwin.
I am Jacques.
And with us
I'm
we have
brainwashed.
I'm about to be brainwashed.
there you go. And welcome to the 950 Club.
No, like I feel like anybody younger than me, I'm allowed to boss around.
Okay.
These are just the rules of life.
Okay.
If you're younger than me, I could boss you around. I'm better than you at everything.
Oh
I know
shit.
everything more than you. Like these are just the rules that I have created in my life.
Okay.
This is why I get mad at watching sports now because I'm like, they're all younger than me, and I feel like I should be able to beat all of them.
We're
But I
all just
know I can't, but I feel like
All
I
right.
should be able to because they're younger than me.
okay. We're all just living in Jamal's world.
Yeah, he likes to live in that fantasy.
He's basically Shadow's now Jamal's Shadow.
There you
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
go. He's not as delusional.
No, no, not at all.
Very delusional.
I'm not delusional.
Oh my. All right.
All right.
All right, let's do this thing.
So are we going to start with Eminence or are we going to start with his top 10?
We can start with Kyle's top 10.
Yeah, we'll do a top
My
10.
top 10? All right.
Okay.
Wait, what was you guys' top 10? Just to meet with a quick rundown.
We'll give
Man, do I have my notes for that?
Check up
I know.
YouTube. Check
I
check
think
YouTube.
I think I remember my 10 pretty well.
I have my YouTube. I listed the if you look at the timestamps in the best of.
Yeah.
This technically, yep, I can do this one as
Well,
well.
when you give your 10, I'll give you I'll give you ours.
Okay,
So you go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll give you our 10 to 9.
got it. And yeah, I was just trying to like make sure I had like the right year, so I just had to double check like two of these because I did that last time, I think, and it was kind of embarrassing. All right, I think I'm good. I think for my number 10, I had Zom 100. Yeah, it was just really solid. You know what I mean? Like I think it turned out worse towards the end. I feel like I like stopped enjoying it as much.
Or you mean at the
Okay.
finale?
Did you
Yeah.
have any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions would go to
And
Oshinoko.
just so you know, Jack had 10 of them. You're not allowed to have 10 honorable mentions. We can
Got
we
it.
can we can let you have 2 or 3, but not 10.
Got it. Okay.
I even forgot. I even forgot my other 10, or at least of it. So it's that stacked.
It's probably uh Trigun was in your honorable mentions, which
It, it is. It is. It is.
No comment. Okay. All right.
you
So
missed it,
what are your
Kyle.
honorable mentions, Kyle?
Honorable mentions. Does I didn't count Attack on Titan because it was only one episode, but if I was counting it as like a full season, I'd probably have it at my number two.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So what I did, I just counted ow, dang it. Um because we got like part 3 and part 4, I just counted that as one thing.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
can split it up
ongoing.
if you want to, but I just counted them as one thing.
Ongoing nonsense. Yeah, I know. It's tricky
Oh,
sometimes.
okay. Another non mention was Hell's Paradise. Looking at both of my
Okay.
notes, it fell out. Oshinoko, I'm not sure if it's 9 or 10 or yeah. Ooh, where'd you get that one? Did you get that another dimension?
No, no. This artist I follow, Unique Clue. Yeah, she does an imprint service.
Say her name
Ooh,
again, just to give her a little recognition.
I'll post it with. I can't pronounce her name. It's like an
Okay.
acronym. Yeah.
Yeah, Hell's Paradise was a honorable mention for me as well.
then Oshinoko is like I just watched it and it's still a little too fresh. I liked it, but I was kind of confused at first. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I felt kind of dumb. I'm like, wait, why is he doing this again? And then I had to rewatch it like again. So I finished watching this morning at around 6 a.m. So that was that.
Yeah, I was
I,
telling
I
them that was your like surprise catch up for us.
yeah,
Okay.
that was my one night rewatch or watch. So that was a bit of a I haven't done that in many years, you know. These old bones can't handle that.
Many years. My God.
Do you like the music?
Uh,
Oh, I loved it. And I think I kept seeing it on like TikTok, the memes for it. I think
Mhm.
that's like I tried when I finally started watching it. Because I remember it was like it was oh, stupid. I'm not gonna say that on
No, it's okay. You can say it.
there.
We're not going to laugh.
No. Because it kept there was like one of three. It was like two different animes, but one of them was like it was mixed in with the Oshinoko one, like the
Mhm.
ending of like the she was doing the concert
Yeah,
and like the femboy transition one. I kept sending it to my friends, and it was yeah, it was. Don't worry about it.
All right,
that's fine.
That
TikTok
that's that,
blocked.
that yeah, that's all we'll say about that one.
You
And then
left out
Dr.
the good
Stone,
part.
but I didn't finish it.
Dr. Stone. Okay.
Yeah, but
So honorable mentions. Alberto had Zob 100, Mashal, and Record of Ragnarok. Edwin had Reign of the Seven Spellblades and My Clueless First Friend.
also shout out the Daily Life of the Immortal Chained. It's like if you just want like OPS character, it's not bad at all. It's very solid.
I don't
So
really want to do Jack's honorable mentions because it's making me mad all over again.
there's like
But
20 of them.
Jack's honorable mentions were Zom 100, Shangri-La Frontier, Shizume, and
Ooh,
Kaguya-sama, The First Kiss That Never Ends.
you didn't have what? So you didn't
yeah, I
have those
know,
in your
right?
top 10? What?
What when we
What
recorded,
replaced them?
when we were recorded, we're like around episode 8 or 7. Like it's part of my ranking
Stop
is
making excuses. He
part of my
keeps trying to
rankings
make
is
excuses.
He
part of
does.
my rankings is like my anime list, like the fresher the episode kind of thing. It is what it is.
Okay.
I'm getting
That's
mad all over again.
crazy.
And
I'm getting mad all over
I
again.
hate the system, but it's technically how I do it.
I saw the judgment in Kyle's eyes, Jack. He was judging you hard.
Because you have to
Ugh.
evaluate a whole season sometimes, and it just didn't happen. I didn't see episode 12 or 13.
For
Okay.
Shangri-La Frontier,
Yeah,
man.
I
We
fucking
had to
loved it.
listen to you talk
Yeah.
about trash game stuff, whatever, incessantly every day for that not to be in your top 10. And it
Yep.
makes me so mad because every day him and Martin were they hype bombed this show to us.
Yep.
And he once again is like, not my top 10.
Well, they were saying how it was better than other anime too,
Yeah.
like my MMO Life,
Mm.
and
Sword
it's
Art
like,
Online. No.
yeah, Jack was saying it's better than Sword Art Online, and for this to not make it into his top 10, I'm like, man, and it's just gotten better.
Well, the season
Yeah.
It's just gotten
It's
better.
done. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess we can't count it because it technically is 2024. So maybe I can see his point.
it's
No.
continuing.
the
It
ongoing
started in
nonsense.
23.
The
We got
ongoing stuff too. Yeah.
we got a good 12 episodes in 2023, I
Yeah.
think.
I like the new
Yeah,
trend. A lot of studios we're doing like the full like 24 episode season, not just doing the halfway cutout.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
Yeah,
love
I
that
like
they're
that
doing
too.
that.
I like that too. We
yeah.
got a
That's
lot of that this season. A lot of
Mhm.
that going from like fall to winter, like a lot of the continuous
And
stuff.
thank God,
Korean
because
and
and thank God, because a lot of these shows disappear after that 12 episode arc.
Yeah.
After those first 12 episodes, you never know if you're going to see it again.
Yeah.
So they keep doing it. If they keep doing it, then you're getting as much as you can.
Okay. Oh, and so my honorables, Hell's Paradise Golden Kamuy season 4, which I prefaced by saying it started in 22, but it continued into 23. So I didn't want to put that in there.
Okay.
Link Click season 2 and Demon Slayer the Swordsmith Village arc.
Okay. I like
So
that.
now, Kyle, your number 10 was again Zom 100, right?
Yes. It was
All
just
right.
because it was so amazing in the beginning, and then I stopped liking it as much towards the end. Like, I think the top half carried the bottom half, in my opinion. And like I lost interest in it, honestly, like midway through. So it like it wasn't that it was like stepping down, it was just like I didn't find it as like amusing anymore. Like the gag part of it was like it like kind of lost its touch, I felt like at that point, for me at least. But
I
I still
think
loved it.
that long break kind of hurt it.
Hmm.
It kind of ruined the flow because it happened like right as they introduced a new character.
Yeah.
So it really kind of like it really hurt the flow a bit. So I get that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Um Alberto's number 10 was the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. Edwin's was the Faraway Paladin season 2.
Ooh.
Jax was Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Thank you.
Huh.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's
Okay. I'm dying to
Kyle,
see who's number one.
Kyle, as a
Dying.
preface, we recorded after that one episode. That one episode. That one episode. That one episode.
Number 10.
Your turn, man.
Number
You
10.
can do whatever you
This
want.
is why we get mad at his list because they're ridiculous.
Yep.
And my number 10 was Reborn as a vending machine. I now wander the dungeon. All right. And that's because of Simon. Darn Simon. All right, you're number 9.
My number 9 was Welcome to Demon School Itamakun. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. It was a comfort watch, you know? Like I watched it when I was going to bed, like every week. Made me laugh a little bit. And then we also saw like I think this was the season where it was his like transformation where like he wasn't a little bitch. So I loved that side. So I it was just an enjoyable show for me. I enjoyed the full season of it. So I it was fun. I liked it. I'm not ashamed to admit that one. Only thing
It's
is
fine to
that
be
the
on there.
character reminds me of what's his name? Fucking Deku. He's like a less bitchy Deku, but like he doesn't choose to be scared of everything.
He doesn't whine as much, huh?
No. And
Yep.
like he's like and he has a reason to be fucking scared of everyone. Like,
Yeah, because he's like the only human there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll eat him. Pause.
Yeah. Yep.
Double pause. Double pause for them.
Oh, okay.
Double paw?
Number
Oh, I can't
uh
put that one. Shit. Okay.
darn.
Okay.
Or Demon School.
Alberto's
Because
number dang it. Alberto's number 9 was the Faraway Paladin season 2. Edwin's was the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Jack's number 9 was Otaku Elf.
it's a good show.
Jujutsu Kaisen is crazy.
Uh,
Oh,
You don't under oh. Ah. I'm trying not to. I'm not getting upset. I'm not getting upset. I'm not
what was
getting
yours,
upset.
Jamal?
yeah, Jamal.
Castlevania Nocturne.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That's another one of those I need to watch, but haven't watched.
The first 2 seasons or first 3 seasons, I recommend.
I don't want to hear anything from you right now, Jack. I'm mad again.
Not bad. The 4 seasons were but then Nocturne like bounced back.
All right. What was mine, Jamal?
Yours was the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
in
that's
the
right. We
genius
covered that.
young lady.
Okay. I'm just trying to save Jack here.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
if I
again,
can.
these were our favorites. These weren't necessarily what we thought were the best. They were just our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's still very. You can smell the judgment in my voice.
Oh, it's gonna get worse, Kyle. Wait till you get the rest of his list.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Okay. What's your number 8?
My number 8 was Kaguya-sama. I finally finished all of it, and
Okay.
I loved it. Loved it.
It's a good show.
Romance.
It's a good
I love
show. Jack
romance.
loves it too. It was just his honorable mention, but he
For the
loves
movie,
it too.
for the
I'm
movie.
dying to see this fucking full list. Waiting. I'm itching.
Oh man. He does it to us every time.
Well,
He is good at it's our fault though. We said this before, but it's our fault because we did praise him throughout the year for having a good solid list. And then when he came with his top 10 at the end of the year, he came with some nonsense. So
Well, part of it's because of Revelations. Like my Clueless First Friend, for example, like it had to warm up to me. Like there are things I had to think about and like reanalyze sometimes, and that happens sometimes. In Campfire Cooking, because I started off initially watching it when we reviewed it for our catch up, I finished it. Oh my god, it's amazing. So
he
sometimes
keeps
that
trying to
happens.
justify it.
I'm not
We're not
justifying. It's
hearing
just yeah.
We're not hearing it.
He's backtracking so hard right now. It's
Oh,
crazy.
Number 8 for Alberto was Castlevania. Number 8 for Edwin was Buddy Daddies. Number 8 for Jack was Demon Slayer. And number 8 for me was The Apothecary Diaries.
You guys keep bringing it up. What is that one about?
Apothecary.
Mm-hmm. Looking at my cruncher right now.
Apothecary Diaries is good.
yeah.
Okay.
It's about this girl that essentially is a self-trained apothecary, or her dad is technically a medicinal man, but she gets kidnapped. This is Imperial China back in the day, like over 1,000 years ago, and or I'm not sure of the timeline to be honest, but it's court drama. It's a court Chinese drama.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's around the Ming Dynasty. If I'm
Ming
not
Dynasty.
mistaken,
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. And there's a whole there's the emperor, and it's the emperor's court, and she originally starts as a servant.
Wait, hold on. Do you know what an apothecary is?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking because if you don't know what it is and he's
I
just
may
like
be young,
glossing over it,
but like,
it won't
give me
make
some
sense.
credit.
No,
Give me
just
some
think of like
credit.
almost like a quasi doctor, and she tests
He's
ingredients.
an expert
and
in
stuff.
poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she gets kidnapped. She's working in like the red light district, the entertainment district.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's on her way to like pick up some herbs and stuff. So she
Mhm.
gets kidnapped and she ends up working in the palace. And it's a show about where essentially she solves mysteries. At first, she starts to help people with like medical recommendations and stuff. So she
Mhm.
saves like one of the concubines, she saves one of her children, and people start to see the value in her. And so she starts solving mysteries and she gets involved in all this palace intrigue. And it's really well done. Like the fifth and sixth episodes are kind of where all the concubines come together for
Mhm.
the emperor, and it's like movie level quality.
Oh yeah, it would be
Okay.
like an Oscar film one day for sure.
Yeah,
It's
Okay.
gorgeous.
Okay.
really
Okay.
well done.
It's another one of those shows that started in fall and it's just continuing on through winter.
Yeah, and Momo is probably one of our favorite characters right now. I think I'd have to like one of our favorite, our best girls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Sue from My Hero Academia does the voice in Japanese.
Oh shit. All right. That should be a list top 10 best girls of the year.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jack would love that.
That might
When
sound
we
bad,
redo
not
the
gonna lie.
Crunchyroll Awards,
Yeah.
Jack was very upset that Best Boy and Best Girl wasn't on there, so I think we're going to have to add those categories.
We might
No.
have
Did
to.
they Oh yeah, I forgot about those awards.
Yeah,
Shit.
no best fight. No best fight either.
Yeah, and no best
Best
fight as
fight
well.
is a no doubter.
Yeah,
No
I
doubter.
agree. And I agree with you. I already know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
How can you agree
Thank
when it
you.
was your number 10?
Yeah.
Well, there's to be fair, there's a dozen of them. They're all the top 10 in my book for best fight.
He had to take his glasses
Actually,
off.
there's like 4 in that one season, like 4 or 5 that deserve to be a top fight.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, they're probably
anyways,
like, we can't compete. It's too hard to decide. Let's just, yeah.
Fair,
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Oh, how was it? Blaze JJK.
Did
What
we
was
get your
Pause.
number
your,
7?
yep. What's your number 7, Kyle?
What's your number 7 time?
Are you guys, if we're technically, it did come out as a movie, but the Black
That's
Clover
fine.
movie, I really liked it. Like, and like I play the mobile game a lot, so like
All
I
Which
right.
one?
had to put it up there, you know.
Okay, cool.
The Black Clover game,
Oh,
sponsored
okay.
by that actually. It's like the gotcha games. It's fun. But I liked the movie and then it's made me go to the gym again, so
There you
Yeah,
go.
Black Clover movies count.
okay, yeah.
Because
I
Jack
like
had Shizume in his
okay, yeah.
movies.
Because like
That's fine.
it was just an enjoyable watch. I enjoy Black Clover when it's not Asta streaming 24/8. Like it's a top 5 anime for me when Asta's not there.
Yeah,
So
agreed. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because
he's
he does
hard to watch.
he doesn't
Pause.
annoy me as much as Deku, but he's up there.
Yeah,
He's up there. It's
yeah.
like, dude, you don't have to shout all of your lines. I don't know who decided that for him, but it's
Hmm.
like, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit. Just dropped that. What about you guys? What was you?
Let's see. Number 7 for Alberto. He had a 3-way tie. Okay. Uh, Berserk of Gluttony,
Which
Shangri-La
was
Frontier, and The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 3. Edwin had a tie between Skip and Loafer and Tomo-chan as a girl.
Watch Tomo-chan.
Jack had Spy Family Season 2. And
Mhm.
I had Tengoku Damakyo Heavenly Delusion.
All
Number
right. I've
6.
I've never heard of that one for the
Ah,
Tendo.
It's
Heavenly
I'm not
Delusion.
surprised because it's a Hulu exclusive. It's a Hulu original.
Oh, okay.
Heavenly
Yeah.
Delusion. Technically the English. Yeah.
But it's got a number of nominations on Crunchyroll this year. So,
Really? Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna definitely use your account to watch it now.
that's fine. That's fine. I share with the people.
Oh yeah. The man of the people. Pure communist right there. Watch out, government.
It works. It's just
uh-oh.
better than capitalism.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I just threw that out there.
Uh-oh.
The thoughts and views. I'm just joking.
My God.
That's fun. All right, number 6.
It's my family. I gave it another chance when I was disappointed in season 2, and I enjoyed it the second time around and everything. I think it was season 3 as well. I enjoyed.
For
So
what show?
it's just for spy film, it's just a comfort watch at this point.
Yeah.
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 I liked
Like,
it. It's nice and silly.
It didn't make my top 10 just because of the slow start.
Hmm.
But once they got into like the Your Protection arc, I
Hmm.
started to really enjoy it.
Okay.
Edwin,
Um,
did you finish it?
and that would be that would be a good like best fight contender too.
Okay.
For the
Because
finale,
her
yeah.
fights were pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, spy film. Yeah, I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I got annoyed with like was fuck. Why can't I remember her name right now?
Anya?
Anya?
The Anya. I got annoyed with Anya in like season 2 for like I'm like I can't fucking watch the show right now. And like I didn't watch it for a year.
wow.
And then I rewatched it like last week when I was studying. But yeah.
Yeah, the movie's coming out soon too.
Oh shit. They're pushing out content for it.
I think it's already out in Japan. It's just not out here.
That's usually the
Like
case.
the movies come out there before they come out here.
Oh, I know,
Yeah, they
but
come out like a year early.
Yeah, so I think it's out in Japan. I just don't think it's out here yet.
Mm. Okay, okay. What
Um,
about y'all?
what do we? Oh, number 6.
6.
Alberto's was Dr. Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Edwin's was Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. Jack's was Campfire Cooking in Another World. Number 6. And mine was Zom 100.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. Number 5. Number 5. Number 5.
You know, best reincarnated dude. I give it up for Eminence and Shadow. It's my number 5 of the year.
Eminence
I
and
loved it.
Shadow.
I loved it. It's
That
like,
was also one of Edwin's number 5s.
okay, okay. See
Eminence and
that
Shadow
on the
was
same
Edwin's
page
number
there.
5,
See? Yeah.
along with
We're
Apothecary
locked in.
Diaries.
Great
We're locked
minds,
in.
man. Great
Great
minds.
minds.
Hmm
I'll have to see where somebody put this one.
That's. I'll tell you where. Nowhere.
Ouch. Yep.
No love to the east. Try.
I finally caught up and finished this, so I didn't give a fresh reading.
Okay,
Oh
okay,
man.
okay. But no, I
Oh
just love
man.
it.
He broke Alberto when he had Jujutsu Kaisen at number 10. Alberto got mad.
He did. Kyle, Jamaal climbed onto the window to try to open it so he could throw Jack out the window. That happened. That happened.
Well, you'll see with the rest.
Yep, that happened.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
We
man.
climbed.
His list was ridiculous.
We were in the library, and Jamaal climbed up the wall to the window to try to open the window so he could throw Jack out the window. It was classic. Classic Jamaal. Classic Jamaal.
Um, ridiculous. Alberto's number 5 was Demon Slayer. Edwin's again was a tie between Apothecary Diaries and Eminence and Shadow Season 2. Jack's was My Clueless First Friend, and mine was Buddy Daddies.
What is that on? This to bring
But,
that one up.
but Buddy Days, Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
Crunchyroll.
Buddy Daddies is Crunchyroll.
Mhm. Really good, Kyle. You should check it out.
Is
It's
it
a
like
lot
a
of fun.
comfort watch?
Oh
It
yeah,
can be.
comfort watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
how do we
It's some
describe
drama.
it?
You ever seen the
It's
movie
Spy Family meets
Man
The
on Fire?
Chorus Recoil.
Man on Fire.
Yeah, I
Man on
could see
Fire.
that. Yeah.
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 Oh,
Like
the
it's
person I
really
shared this account with watched it.
And the boy versions of the chorus recall. Like think of like the main characters in the chorus, but male version.
Okay,
yeah, like
okay.
it's really chill. It's a really chill, funny anime. But when it busts out into its action sequences, like they're
Mhm.
legit like the animation is on point.
Oh
Like the
shit.
first one is almost Die Hard, and
Mhm.
later on, like they're assaulting like this one guy. They're assassins,
Okay,
and
They're
okay.
hitmen, yeah.
yeah, they're assassins, and so they're attacking this one dude's like they got the whole like I'm dressed up as a repairman while the other guy's
Mhm.
outside with the sniper rifle,
Mhm.
and they don't know what to do with the kid. So the kid's like in the car, and the kid shows up. Everything goes sideways. They're running out the door. They've got this whole army like shooting at them while they're trying to escape. It's awesome.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I just put on the watch list, so probably tonight.
there you
Post
go,
this
man.
test for it that'll make me cry.
It's a
So
worthy
Oh
watch.
shit.
It's just 12 episodes. They wrap everything up in this one season because they give
okay.
you the flash forward of them with their life.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was a original show as well. There's no manga or light novel to it or anything. It's just an original anime that they made.
Huh.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
really good.
that was good.
Alright. What was your number 5,
Oh, that's right.
Senor?
Or
That
Jamal.
was my number 5.
No, Buddy Daddies.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was okay.
That was my number
That
5. So
was
now we need your
that
number
was
4.
Jared's. Number 4, I had Shangri-La Frontier. That was where I had it.
Okay, that's fair. That's
But
fair.
like
We all like
honestly,
the
I feel
show.
like it might be unfair because I'm mostly basing it off of like the newer stuff as well. That's been in 2024. So I'm not sure if that should be valid.
I think
It's,
so.
I'm confused.
I
It's
think
fine.
Okay.
it's fair enough.
We'll
You got a
accept it.
full season
Yeah.
in 2023,
Yeah.
Okay.
so I think it's fair to be
Okay.
on there.
Yeah, we'll accept
Okay.
it because it's like we're doing the podcast now, so it's like we
Right.
can't be like, yeah.
Yeah, and the first
Okay.
half in the first half had that excellent part with Samuel Boss and
Yeah.
his singing. It was gorgeous. It's like it should be in Smithsonian.
So yeah, I mean it was good. So it's good. The thing about it, like the timing of it, it'll technically qualify for this year and next year.
Next year. It'll probably be on next year's list too.
For us as but Crunchyroll, I think they stopped their award season in the fall season, so it'll
Mm.
be more like a 20 it'll definitely be a top contender next year, I think.
Oh yeah.
Um
And
okay,
what
so
did you
number
guys
4.
have?
Alberto's number 4 was By the Grace of God season 2. Edwin's was My Love Story with Yamada Kun at level 999.
Oh, how was
Jax
that?
was
It was
The
really good, man.
Apothecary
Okay,
Diaries.
I've been pushing that one off.
Oh, do
That
it,
one,
do it.
yeah, that one's
Okay.
It's
really good.
it's
Looks
perfect for
funny.
your age. It was perfect for your age because it's college level and adulthood, like young adulthood, essentially.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
really,
okay.
yeah, it's really cute and yeah, it's really good, man.
All right. On the list.
And my number 4 was Blue Lock.
Ooh, okay, okay.
See, you
So you went
like
from
that, right?
shitting on it to number 4? Okay.
Hey, look, man, look. I told you
He
I
shat
gave it
on
a
me for
chance and it
2
was
months
good.
straight, and
I
Really?
then he
told
watched
you.
it.
Oh
I
wow.
told you I gave it a chance
That
and it
sounds
was
like
good.
Jamal. Yeah.
So I knew you would be pleasantly surprised to hear that I put it
Kyle,
at
he
number
did talk
4.
about it a lot. He ended up
Okay.
talking about this thing a lot. Yeah. I
Yep.
Okay,
think like
okay.
he's brought it up every since he's watched it, he's brought it up every single podcast.
It's been good.
Hmm.
It's been good.
Making me
I
proud.
gave you your credit. I gave you your
He
credit.
did.
I gave you your
Making
credit.
me crap
I'm
proud.
looking forward to the movie. So
Me
I gave
too.
you your credit.
All right, all right. A little
Look at
happy
him.
now.
Look at the arrogance in his smile right now.
Oh, number 3 now, right?
Yep.
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 That's where I had Blue Lock.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
Just caffeine injected in your brain. It's like what you feel when you're watching it. Like
Mhm.
I played soccer with the kids. Everything was just it was like the first part of the tag part. Headshots all around
Yeah.
the little mini basketball.
Oh yeah. It's a fun anime. It's a very fun anime. And it's something that I think, like I said before, I'm not a soccer fan at all. But even if you're not a sports fan in general, you can still enjoy this show because it's less about the sport and more about, the journey of trying to be the best. So
And the egoist. Being the
yeah,
most selfish. I love that. That's me right there.
you're not. But
No, I'm not.
I'm not gonna expose you in front of the world, but you're
I'm
not.
domesticated. No.
It's fake. Um Alberto's number 3 was Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Jack's number 3 was Hell's Paradise.
Oh,
And Edwin and I both had the same number 3 in Campfire Cooking in Another World.
That's such an awesome show.
Yes.
okay.
I'm actually rewatching that one.
Okay, okay.
Are you watching in English?
No, actually, I'm just doing the Japanese again.
Okay, yeah, I heard the English was okay.
Okay, I might have to check that out, but I'll save that for later on because this is the second rewatch. Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah,
You'll when season 2 comes out.
there you go. When season two comes out, I'll watch it all in English. Yeah.
And you guys both had this. Oh yeah. So number
Yeah.
2 now, correct?
Hmm.
Number 2.
Number 2, I got a little bit of a curveball. I
Uh-oh.
got girlfriend, number 2 for me.
Girlfriend,
I love
girlfriend.
I
Really?
love
What?
that fucking show. It's so stupid. It's so funny. I love it. I cry laughing every time I watch it, and it's my favorite show. Like
So
that's not
like your favorite guilty pleasure.
it's my guilty pleasure that
Yeah.
I laugh at ridiculously hard. Kind of funny, but I love girlfriend. It's my favorite.
I
Plus, it's the
love
same voice actor for Yuji.
Yeah, I love the manga,
Hmm.
and I was so mad at the show because they made him so annoying. He wasn't that annoying in the manga, and
Okay.
like he doesn't. Well, he doesn't come across in the anime. He's just so he's like too much. You know what I'm saying? He's like way too much. In the manga, it was a little bit more like I could handle it, but when they
Hmm.
transitioned, like I watched the first season, and like I'm like, man, they made this guy just like this is just too much. Yeah. But yeah, I like it too, Kyle. I just couldn't keep
I love
going
it.
because yeah, they really yeah, they changed it. They changed them so much from the manga that I
Hmm.
was like, man, I don't know if I could keep doing. But yeah, I agree. It was real that yeah, it was entertaining. I liked the first season. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, because like I haven't read the manga, so that's why
Yeah.
like I think my opinion is different. I think on it
Oh,
because
definitely,
like
yeah.
it's just pure like chaos and like brain rot. Honestly, I love it.
Oh yeah, they keep here's
It
like here's another girlfriend. Here's another girlfriend. It's like here you go, dude. Yeah.
I
It's like
love
how
it.
many yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what team are you? Are you? I'm Team Shino.
Oh, I don't remember, man. It's been like a year since I watched it, but yeah, yeah. You're good, dude. You're good. That's a good one.
Oh, love that one. That was my curveball for the list.
Okay, so we had
That was
ties for
definitely a
number two.
curveball.
Jack and
Yeah.
Edwin had a tie at number. Oh no, no ties.
Yeah, there's ties.
Um, wait a second.
Yeah,
Oh, Jack, you liar! You liar! You cheated because your number five. You had a three-way tie, but you only posted one.
it's not a three-way
You
tie.
liar!
It's not a three-way tie.
Edwin, you remember this, don't you? He had a three-way tie.
It was a
He had a
gauntlet.
three-way
It was
tie
a
as his number
gauntlet.
five,
It was a
but on the
gauntlet.
notes, he only put my clueless first friend.
It's a
Oh,
gauntlet. I had to choose between all three of them, and I chose
Fine.
Jack.
What were the three?
Dangers in My Heart and Kubo won't let me be invisible. And
Okay.
I chose my clueless first friend over those two.
Okay. Okay.
Jack.
So hold on.
That's
Let's
just because of
switch
that
this
one
up.
episode.
It's a great
I got to give you the
episode.
backstory on this. I got to give you the backstory on this
Hmm.
because when we were recording this, and this is on tape, Jack said, because Edwin was like, I have ties, and Alberto was like, I have ties, and Jack was like, oh, Jamal and I, we're the only ones that don't have ties. So then he gets to number five, and he has a three-way tie between Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, My Clueless First Friend, and Dangers in My Heart. But now he's making it seem like he didn't have a tie.
I said it. You don't listen. You have to listen to the episode. I said gauntlet. What is a gauntlet? It's a battle royale. It's
This
essentially a battle royale.
revisionist history.
Not revisionist.
Oh, I get madder and madder about his list the
How
more I go through it. This is a bad idea.
they don't
Oh yeah.
run nobody runs a gauntlet in a
I do because they're all
not,
they're the same tone and release at the
well
same time.
He had 10
but
honorable
these are your
mentions and
favorite
still had a
shows.
three-way tie.
So that makes it a 22 list, a list of his
So listen,
22 top.
22.
They
Yeah.
have to be they have to be victors. They have to be survivors. I'm sorry.
Ugh, oh my God.
Ridiculous. So Edwin and Jack's number two was Free and Beyond Journey's End. And Alberto and I both had Attack on Titan as number two.
Okay. Yeah, if I like, because I didn't really want to count like the one like episode as like the full like season part, but then I did it for Black Clover. It probably is my number two. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and technically, it's if you combine them both, it's a movie.
okay,
No,
so
I mean, what they did was they just combined three episodes into one big block.
mhm.
Instead of releasing it week, they just put three episodes into one big hour and a half thing for both parts.
I cried.
If they would have made it into an actual cinema theater release, it would have probably been my number one. But presentation mattered to me, and I think it wasn't
They would have done so
presented
much
in
more
its best way.
marketing and like
Yeah.
as they did
It,
that.
it, it would have been Demon Slayer. It would have been like top of the box office. I guarantee it.
Oh, 100%. I would have sold out an entire theater. Bankruptcy for that.
Yeah.
Definitely. For sure.
But
All right, you're number one.
has been any real doubt on what it was going to be. The
Bushko
second
Tensei.
act.
What?
Jack, we couldn't hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do it
We
again.
know you know
There's
you know
been
what
no
his number
doubt.
one is. If his number one, if this wasn't his number one, he'd be getting thrown out the window. We
It's
know what
Jujutsu
his number
Kaisen.
one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Goat
doesn't need to
Kaisen.
be
I
said.
love it. It's the best. Fucking 4 or 5 fight scenes of the year. Yes. Choso Yuji. Megumi doing the Maharaga versus Sutuna. Sutuna versus Jogo. Toji versus Gojo. Fucking the last fight. Oh my God. Mahito versus Yuji is fucking peak cinema. It's the best. And the anime only scene that they created in for Toto.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for slaving away, Mappa. I appreciate you greatly. I love it.
That was Jujutsu Kaisen was my number one as well. It was my number one as well. It had everything in it that you could possibly want. It had emotion. It had great animation. It had great fight. Everything that you could want in an anime, it was there.
Yeah.
To me. So that's why it was my number one. Jack's number one was Tomo-chan as a girl.
Mhm.
The Dangers in My Heart was Edwin's number one. And Alberto's number one was Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
covered some ground with our number ones. Yeah.
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 And we recorded with Martin. His is number one was Shangri-La Frontier.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Martin's was Shangri-La Frontier. I didn't remember Martin's
That's
5 or
okay.
6.
Yeah. His were really out there. Like, I was surprised with it. It was a top 6 technically.
Yeah.
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 It was really very like it was like yeah, it was like it was he was popping up with stuff that I wouldn't have thought of
Mm-hmm.
to put on my list. But yeah, that was an interesting list for him. Yeah, but I know he really loved Shangri-La Frontier.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Him and
I
Jack
love
And,
it too.
him and Jack were talking about it all the time.
but it didn't make Jack's top 10.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Those all are 10 too. Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. I love them. All 10 of them. I do.
And
I don't know. I
Jesse's
think
number one was Freeing, I believe. Yeah, Jesse's number
Yeah.
one was Freeing.
yeah. Yeah,
I keep
his
seeing
was
that.
it's a really good show, Kyle.
Art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Straight fantasy, really well done.
You ever
No,
watch
because I've
Lord?
been like, sorry, let me touch you off. It's like
Oh,
Lord
it's
of the
good.
Rings.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Very similar.
I'm trying
Very
to beat
similar in
the
tone.
elf obsessed accusations by my person who shares my Crunchyroll account.
Oh,
So I have
you're
I
you're
have
not
to hide
alone.
those accusations. I have to remit them for for a bit.
Well, look, Jack is an open like we tease Jack about that all the time because Jack can't hide it from us. He just can't. I mean, Otaku Elf was in his top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. hmm
It was his number one for the season, whatever
It was,
season it
wasn't
came
it?
out.
Yep, it was, wasn't it? Yep.
Number nine overall.
Okay. Yep. Well, then
But
it made it.
don't worry. It was his second favorite elf anime of the year.
There's a whole
Yeah.
category for that, friend.
For
He
him,
has
yeah.
his
For
his
him,
his
yeah.
list had categories for everything.
Yep.
So he had like best romance anime of the year, best
Ooh.
video game anime of the year. Like he justified it by having like anything that didn't make his list. He
Yeah.
justified it by saying it was the top on another list. Like, oh, it was my favorite such and such anime this year. That's
Yep.
how he justified it.
I think essentially he just had like 30 or 40 anime that were that were in his top 10.
Mushko Tensei was the best one about ED. So
Well, that's the best one about ED ever because it's the only one about ED,
I'm hoping that stays that way.
right?
I took it off the list. And
You didn't like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
finale then. No.
I mean, it was like
mm-mm.
we all knew it was coming. It just I didn't want it to
Yeah.
take fucking 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And they just
Yeah,
That
I
released the
was
think
trailer.
we all came to that conclusion because we discussed that because that was one of our most disappointing shows.
Yeah.
yeah.
I stopped watching,
Yeah.
which was shocking because it's
You didn't
like
miss anything.
no, that's what everybody tells me. It's like there was no point.
You
Which
honestly could start off at the next season and not
and
have missed a single thing.
wow.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
trailer is like moving on. It's moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in spring.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Jack liked him more than we did.
Oh.
Eminence and Shadow.
Let's do this. I think I'm the one that got you guys onto this show.
I have
Wait,
watched
Jack, you
I've
never
watched it
introed the
before.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, we do now to make it official. All right. Ready? With Edwin. Starting with Edwin. Always. I am atomic.
Oh, absolutely. On today's
Welcome to the
episode,
950 Club where we edit
That
out
was
nothing.
on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Eminence in Shadow, um, which is which I saw. I started watching the first season of, and I introduced to Jack and Jamal, and I think Kyle, you started watching this on your own, right, man? Yeah.
sir.
And this is probably one of the most batshit crazy shows I've ever watched for an isekai because it plays around with the tropes. It plays around with isekai tropes in a way that like is kind of unbelievable because this show has it kind of both ways. It's like it's played for laughs, but at the same time, it's not. There's a real serious to this. Our main character, Sid Kagano, um, that introduction, like actually, I want to ask you guys how you feel about the first episode because I was really like, all right, I'm like, all right, I had seen the trailers, and a few, it had been on a few of like, I'm gonna watch this list, for like Mother's Basement or Glass Reflection. So there was a lot of YouTubers who had this on their list of isekai. And just watching that first episode, I was really confused as to what this was gonna be because they play it serious. It's really hardcore. It's classroom setting, so slice of life slash violent, gang drama, like Avenger of the Night kind of thing, Eminence and Shadow. But none of the previews and nobody that was talking about, oh, this is an isekai, this guy with his own group, and you're like, where's any of this? So how did you guys feel about like when you watched that first episode?
It was very strange to me. Again, I didn't really know what was going on. Your flips are flopping.
What?
I had her flip flops was like flopping in the background.
We didn't
Dude, I
hear
had the
it.
mic. Dude, I had the microwave running. It's like I don't. Yeah.
I don't know how y'all didn't hear that. It was so loud.
Now you know how Brian Last feels.
Yeah, I get it now. So yeah, that first episode was really strange because I didn't know. Like, I was like, "Is this even an isekai?"
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I wasn't sure if this was like, is this dude like envisioning his own life or what? Because it was just really strange. Like, I want to be this. He at first he's this vigilante on the streets with what was it, a crowbar?
Yeah.
With a crowbar, and then he dies and he's in this world that he just made up. It reminded me of, oh my gosh, what's that Nintendo game that where you like you're playing a game and you like write what you want and then be like hammer and then the hammer appears and you use the hammer.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You're a
Um,
little old time. It's a little before my time.
um,
Classic age.
Scribble Knots, Scribble
Okay.
Knots, Scribble Knots. So I'm like, is this like Scribble Knots, where he's just kind of like making his own story as he
Yeah.
progresses?
And on top of that, he's also a high school student.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
another thing that confused me was the girl that was that he saw in high school that was like, what was it, that first episode where she was
Akane.
wasn't she sad about something?
Akane.
Yeah,
Yeah. She had
I
been
saw
through.
her, and like when he
So
moved
she.
into the other world, I was like, is
Is that
that
the
his
sister?
sister in this world?
Yeah, they look similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was my
Yeah.
first thought. I'm like, are they, did he just isekai her into this world to be like, it was so strange to me. I'm like, I don't know where Edwin is going with this show.
Yeah.
But when he said it's crazy, I get it, because it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That
That
was my
was.
initial reaction.
And what about you, Jack?
Yeah, it, similar to you guys. It's more like not exactly jumping in, but you have to accept his rules. You have to accept the Shadow's rules. This is an established world. This is my isekai. I'm not even going to give you that much background with my companions. We're just going to jump in with these random scenarios where I don't exactly want to be known for my crazy, philosophies and how the world build in a weird way. It's like
Yeah.
it's like yeah, it's like sacred text. Like I've done this years ago. You're just catching up now.
Okay.
Well.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that's kind of how I took it as well.
Okay.
Because I know that, like, especially in like the intro, it was weird as fuck. Like, it finally showed like the opening credits for the intro in season two. I don't know if you like remember that part, like the like when they all do their little star suits. They did that in
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
season two. I'm
Yes,
like,
Yeah.
what
yes.
the fuck? I was so confused watching the intro. I'm like, where the
Yeah.
fuck am I going with this? Because I remember I
And
saw it on TikTok. And I was like,
okay.
I'm like, where
Well,
the fuck is this going?
well, it's kind of like it's a little bit like they're messing with your head
Mm-hmm.
because that intro takes place mostly mainly in like modern day Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and you see all these characters in like their little high school outfits and everything, and then you're just like, then you watch the show and you're like, wait, what's going on? And like he felt a little bit like Deku in a way, where it's like he's like, but like in reverse. So nobody has superpowers. He knows he doesn't have superpowers, but he insists on being a hero to the
Okay.
point where like you see at the end where he's just like ramming his head into trees because it's like he's like he wants that magic. He's gonna find it, and fate finds him, and he dies, and he enters this world, and it's still he's still got that mindset, but it's different. It's not as the way he plays it is different. Like he knows he's in a world where there is magic. He knows he's in a world where he's the most powerful. And so he plays it a little bit different than he was playing it in the normal world because now he has access to that. But that entire first episode was like, and I think it sets the tone for like, okay, you don't, whatever you expect is going to happen is not going to happen. Yeah. And then from there, it becomes like, it's just so hard to keep track of like, okay, you have a really hard time keeping track of whether he's sane or not. Whether
I
he's like,
don't. He's not.
he's not. Yeah. He can't be. He can't possibly be sane.
He's me if I was an isekai.
Okay, Kyle.
You are going to be in the isekai. As soon as you signed on that dotted line, you
Jamal.
isekai'd yourself.
Uh, okay.
Oh, trapped in another world.
Yep.
Whoa.
Uh,
Do you think I'll have magic?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to make any jokes. I'm gonna. I'm. We got enough editing to do.
There you go.
I'm very happy for you. Hopefully, maybe. But continuing on with the Diaries of a Madman.
Which you could call it that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
that's a Yeah, might be a better name for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Or
the
a
man
subtitle.
yeah.
subtitle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Chunubio disasters in another world.
Yeah, that's no thing. I was like, it's like another anime. I'm like, that's what I first thought it was. I'm like, is it like Shinobio or I don't know how to say it. I'm like,
Love
oh, the
Chinubio
delusion.
and other yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, is it like this? Just
That's
like when I
what
was watching, I was so confused.
yeah. Well, for him, it is. He's just playing out a role that he wanted to play out, and like he thinks
Mhm.
this is really cool, and like the entire world is like there's real stakes for everybody else. And I don't know if he gets that or not. Like he just wants to be the most powerful, and he wants to act out these scenes that he's built up in his head, and it doesn't really match with the character he was in the first episode.
No, and not at
No.
all.
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
No.
Which leads to further confusion
Yeah.
But
Well,
because
the thing is that that was a scary character.
yeah,
He legitimately was. But Sid Kagano's also a scary character because in this world he is the most powerful character, and you know that he's kind of well-meaning because there's a lot of killing in this show, a lot of killing in this show. So he's kind of well-meaning, but it's like he's well-meaning within his delusion. And it's like if that ever were to stop, he's powerful enough to be like essentially the most dangerous person within this world.
yeah. In how the show sets it up, like Edwin alluded to, he's jumping into different personalities and different scenarios that he's building up towards. And it's like he already finished season 5. He already finished the light novels. And we're just watching season 1. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's trying to fill in this timeline with all these supporting characters and world building and politics. And we because in the first instance of him in this world, we see him already as the OP character with a whole troop of elves. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
It should have been me.
It should have been me.
it's Jack's life too. Yeah, because he's sitting there telling
Kyle will rent
Alpha,
a truck
well,
and go
not
down and
Alpha, but he finds the elf there,
Mhm.
which is going to eventually end up being Alpha because
Mhm.
she's getting what is she getting attacked or something? Or she's about to get
No, she was
attacked
a
by
blob.
She was a blob.
yes, you're right. She was a blob.
Yeah,
She was a
another one of
blob.
his delusions. He was just testing
Yeah,
out magic shit on her until
yeah,
Yeah.
something worked.
yeah.
Yeah. He just kept messing around with that. And I love how that's there's a lot of payoffs in this show.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I love how that's paid off like 20 episodes later, where you're like, oh wow, like this fits in like that one scene. She's just you think it's just a random scene in his mind where she's a blob in a cage, but that plays out like 20
She
episodes.
finds someone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that plays out 15 episodes later, 20 episodes later. In season 2, it keeps like you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
the way this show just drops revelations, like, and you can't really focus on that because he's being so ridiculous. But then you start to realize that these girls that he's collected and he thinks like, man, they're really playing along, you know? They're doing their own thing. And it's like, there's real stakes for these girls. Like you find as you find out, like essentially they're just like an army of superheroes that were created and discarded because they were broken and he fixed
yeah,
them and inadvertently created his own army from
And back
like
and
you know
backstory, creating a whole ridiculous
backstory,
feud.
which turned out to be true.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
That's
it
that's
I
an
turned out to
that
be
was
important
true.
such
part
a
that we
fucking
need to
gag.
Yep.
discuss.
Yep.
He's telling Alpha this story
Hmm.
that he's just completely making up.
He pulls the
Um,
usual suspects.
yeah,
He pulls the usual suspects. He's just staring at the wall. He sees a container. He's like, Diablos. That's it. That's what I'm going
yeah,
with. It's the cult of Diablos. And it turns out to be true. It's insane.
yeah. So he's making this up, but Alpha's running with this and gathering up all these people to fight against this cult of Diablos. And it's like you said, later on, you find out that no, the cult of Diablos is actually a real thing.
Yeah.
Which surprises him too, because he's like, I just made this up. It's like he's just looking around and he's just like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
So, again, it's just like it's like Jack said, it's like it's his novel. He's five novels ahead of us, and we're just seeing the first chapter. And it's like, what's going on here? But that's again where the scribble knots thing comes in, because it's just like he's just painting as he goes.
Well, the crazy thing, like what Kyle said, is like he's just experimenting on this blob and just happens to figure out how to heal it. And
Yeah,
an elf pops out, and he's like, "Oh, cool, it's an elf." But that's kind of like him throughout the entire show.
yeah,
He's like, "Well, I'm just gonna do this, and like if any cool moments come out of it, that's really cool." But like what he does has real stakes for everybody else in the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It,
um he wants to essentially be the side character in his own story,
He
but then
wants,
be
yeah,
the shadowy figure in the
That
story
is
as
the
well.
main character.
Yeah.
yeah,
So like
It's
during the
like,
doldrums of the day, he just wants to be this, very understated, nobody pays attention to me kid.
yeah.
but very specifically an anime background character, the one that tries to pick up
Mm-hmm.
the popular girl and be rejected immediately,
Mm-hmm.
like a
Yes.
million other animes do it. Like
oh,
it'll
like
be like
the
this.
trapped in a dating simulator
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. You don't even see the character's eyes. They just bow. I've liked you for over 2 years. Can I've been meaning to ask you out? And the girl would just famously reject him like a legend status.
And
So
his and
yeah,
those plans never pan out because he always gets sucked into the main story because
yeah.
he's so OP that like and he doesn't think things through. Like during that first competition where he's fighting with Rose and like he's like, you know what? This is a great way to die.
Yeah.
But this is another great way to die. And this is a great another way to die.
He
And I
finds for
practiced so many
he,
that I
he
should try them all out. And everybody's thinking like, oh my God, this dude's amazing and incredible. And he's just thinking, oh, this is another cool way to die. It's like,
47
oh,
specifically 47 ways to lose in a sword fight.
yeah,
It's a cool way for a side character to
to
die.
die. Yeah.
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 This could have also been called my isekai bucket list.
Yeah.
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 My
Eminence and
background
Eminence
bucket list
100.
There you go. Eminence 100. Oh my God. Yeah. That would have been funny, actually.
with all the tropes and all the story and all the routes,
Yeah.
unbelievably.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
again, like Jack said, he specifically, it's like in what Edwin said, he's going out of his way to embody these typical side character anime tropes
Mhm.
in each one of these little scenarios. And like Edwin says, it always backfires because he's OP.
yeah.
So,
It and how it starts is how the arcs start too. Like I just mentioned with the because the scenario where he tries to ask out a girl, it turns out to be the princess of the kingdom of Midgar, Alexa or Alexia,
Alexia.
and yeah, and it is going to be like set up. It perfectly sets up that trope. And as he asks her out, she's basically like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And so because of that happening, he pretends to be a boyfriend of hers. So in her mind, she's just trying to make her one uh boyfriend jealous. And during this whole sequence, they get to know each other, and you think it'll be just that with this show, but it has a 180 turn, and it turns into a hostage situation.
Well, let's talk about the quick fact where she kills him.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like she kills dude like
that's the
dead.
180. That's the 180.
Like it was like, wait, what kind of darkness do these people have inside them? Because like she straight up like cuts this dude in half, and of course it's him, so he heals and he walks away. But it's like she just straight up just murdered him, and we
Yes.
get no like, there's no investigation, there's just like a puddle of blood, where this guy's body should be at. And it's like that never gets discussed like at all. Like, I mean, he does like think that she's a murderer after that point. He's like, oh, who is she killing now? But you never really get like an answer to like she just straight up killed the dude who rejected her. Like, okay,
But also with that first arc, she gets
the
abducted.
kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we first see Shadow's true power and how he
Oh
kills
man.
one of the members of Diablo, who abducts Alexia, or it was her ex boyfriend, right?
It was her
Yeah,
betrothed, her fiance.
her betrothed. Yeah.
Betrothed. Good call. Good call.
And she
So
wasn't trying to make him jealous. She was trying to like get him to stop to lose interest in her
there you go.
because she saw he had no flaws. In
Yeah.
her mind, nobody you can't be a person and not have flaws, and he had a lot.
Yeah.
She was right. Dude was a straight up stone cold killer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Member of the cult.
He was a
Oh,
scumbag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, side note, the scene that made me watch Eminence and Shadow was when she flung the coin, which is part of the
Oh,
other shit that they got away with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her flinging the coin. Do you think it really be bribed with money? Yes, and he's already on the floor. That's what made me watch Eminence and Shadow.
and
Well,
he's
the
yeah.
slick way that he did it too. He's just like, I'm gonna just lean over and like grab this and like, yeah. Yeah, he's a scrub.
Yeah,
He's really a scrub. He's like he just wants to buy enough money. He just
so we
wants
can have
enough
cool
money.
shit.
Yeah,
This
so he
game.
can have yeah. It's like I'm just gonna have this room's gonna they're gonna walk into this room and I've got art and I've got fancy chairs and I've got this lamp, and I've got and it's like, who is this guy?
Yeah. And that's the weird part about it. Mind you, this guy has a whole system and network of spies and uh, powerful warriors in his disposal, and riches, and riches, and
Yeah.
riches.
That's
But
He's
he's
able to
still,
give
developing them
him
at this time.
yeah,
He's developing them at this time.
yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not like he started off with a ton of them,
but
but
it's kind.
we get that.
But
We
it's
get that Alpha's checking in with him, and
yeah.
you get the different ones.
And then the following arc with Gamma, one of my favorite characters in the show, she part of the with the elves is that Alpha created these other elves to be part of the Shadow Garden team,
Yes.
and Gamma has a specific specialty. Hers is more in tune with developing a store, a big
Mhm.
5-story department store. It turns out to be one of their headquarters.
Well, again, that's kind of like the isekai thing where he's taking his knowledge from
Another
The other
world.
his world
Yes,
and
yes.
applying it to here.
But he's
So
not
things like
doing that.
coffee and chocolate, they
Yeah.
start selling, and it's a thing there. It's a thing there that they haven't seen, so it
Yeah.
just explodes just because he knows it from his world.
Oh yeah.
Well,
In the
they've
same way
taken
that he knows these stories and he tells them these stories
yeah.
from
She
his
starts
world.
writing the books.
Yeah.
Well, they've taken everything because he's so laser focused on living this Chinubio life. He can't enjoy any of the benefits of the knowledge that he's brought over, but they take full advantage of it, not only to support their organization, but essentially to live full lives. And that's one of the things as the show progresses and as the season goes on, and as they start to focus more on the girls, you start to see that like you start to realize what they are, what they've gone through, what he's freed them from, and then how they've grown beyond anything that he could have imagined. And how they're actually not only they're kind of reclaiming the lives that were stolen from them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
and
agree
adding
with
and adding insane depth. They even have all aliases too. That's what one of the conflicting things I have about the show. The aliases, like Beta. I didn't know who she was with the glasses on for a while. Like, oh, that
yeah,
is Beta. Things like that. You have to be really patient
yeah.
with the show.
Well,
We
you don't
gotta,
have to really be patient because they tell you when the time comes. You just have to know because you're dealing with a madman here.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
So
That's the
yeah,
thing, though.
there's no rules. There's
That's
no rules.
that's
So
the
in
other
the
side
way
of
that he's kind of like the understated character at day, and Shadow at night, they kind of have that same dichotomy too.
Mhm.
Well, that's the other side of
Except
the
for
coin.
Alpha, who's just kind of like Alpha.
I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's badass.
She's the
But then,
bottom.
yeah,
Large and
She's
in
the
charge.
bottom that controls all the other
but what I'm trying to get at with the other
inhibitor
side,
guns.
but what I'm trying to get at with the other side of the coin is, like I said, we've seen a lot of anime, things like that. Let's just say a newer fan comes in, not knowing exactly what Chernobyl is, not exactly like understanding the rules of Isekai. Like they would be like trying to pick pieces here and there. Like you have to. It's like one of those things where it's an anime for seasoned veterans, as it were, and that's why it's really hard to really sell the show. It's more like an experience.
I can
Like
agree.
you can't.
It's a
Yeah,
fun ride.
yeah,
It's an absolutely fun ride. It's a joy to watch. I think you can watch it fresh coming in, and you'll enjoy it because it is so over the top and crazy. But at the same time, I think it's like a lot of fun because we've watched so much isekai, we've watched so much anime, we know all these tropes, but at the same time, it blends them in a way where like um we're thinking like, WTF, but at
Yeah.
the same time, yeah, we're enjoying ourselves because this is fun.
yeah.
He is fun to watch. Shadow is like that. He's just the way his mind works, his delusions, and I don't know if I don't know if you guys agree, but it gets funnier as it goes along.
Yeah.
Like,
Like the
yeah,
amount of the dad they do, and like it
Yeah.
just the more he
yeah,
pulls shit out of his ass and it works is absolutely hilarious to me.
yeah.
Second
But
And I
season.
then
think it has to
even in the
because,
background,
as you
well, as it gets
said, the
crazier,
stakes get so much higher for them
they really do.
Yeah.
that you kind of need that let me up a little bit from him
Yeah,
because he's still in that delusional world where there may be people dying or all this stuff going on, and he's still worried about looking cool or making the dramatic entrance. Or
yeah,
later on, oh my goodness, that was a cool line. I'm gonna use that.
yeah.
That's his thought process while everybody's going through all this turmoil.
And they really are
Yeah.
going through it.
Yeah, they're
They're
really
really
going
going
through
through it. Like I
Oh,
love
like
the scenes. Uh-huh. Go ahead, Kyle.
I think there was I forgot what was it what was her name? It was it Delta, the like wolf girl?
it.
Mhm.
Yes,
Hmm.
I
Like
think Delta's the wolf.
when they thought she died, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all were like hit hard, and then he's just like, yeah, I'm evil now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or she's fine. She's fine. Like, wait a
yeah,
second.
I sent her off away.
yeah.
She's in a faraway land.
He just
Eh,
didn't know. It's
yeah,
like he almost doesn't know how to process
yeah,
like certain things. Like he can't like because he thinks this is all just a game. Like they're all acting out this act with him. They're playing these little roles.
Mhm.
I don't think he understands sometimes the seriousness of like what's going on for them.
and also it's the OP-ness, like essentially like not even processing death, not processing like the politics that come after like destruction.
Well, that was his whole goal.
Yeah,
yeah,
His whole goal was to essentially be able to withstand a nuclear blast, and he achieved it. I mean, like
yeah.
he is
He
the
became
nuclear.
nuclear.
Yeah,
Atomic.
He is atomic.
Atomic.
yeah. Which is like one of the best lines. Like
Oh, hands
yeah,
down, pants down.
yeah. That after that first kidnapping, he says, "I am atomic," and it's just you're like,
And mind you,
gosh,
this is like the first boss. Like this is like,
Mhm.
you can do this in a sleep type of boss. But no, he's like, nah, I'm gonna nuke him, literally nuke him, and destroy
well,
half the
let's
city.
yeah, let's nuke the city just to take out this one guy, and it's like this is where his rationale is at. Oh my gosh,
because he wanted to use that I am. He wanted to be atomic,
yeah,
and so
yeah,
it's just he's pretty fair with saying like I don't care about anybody.
yeah. He
I
is. You're
just
right.
I just want to do what I want to do.
I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's just like, so it is when they're all sad, like you said, when they're all sad about Delta or, when it seems like he doesn't really understand what they're going through, he just doesn't care.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He does
And
not
that's
care
yeah.
at all. the whole Shadow Garden can die. It would not change that man a bit.
No one
They
dying
are
would
just
really
merely
affect him,
pawns in
honestly.
his story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is a really
Sad.
yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
But it goes back, I think, to the who he was originally in that first episode, that
Hmm.
detachment from reality that he had. Like
Hmm.
like he's just, a cold-blooded killer in that first episode.
Yeah.
And it's like you get like a he gets more of a personality when he gets reincarnated, but there's still that level of detachment. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
in another way that like kind of like go along with the show is how each story point interacts with each other, and it's a blessing in disguise how the show is built because the first season's really chaotic and it goes by super fast when you don't think
Mhm.
about it too much.
It really
And
does.
yeah,
Yeah. I watched it
Yeah.
like I've watched like 4 times, so like
Wow.
yeah.
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 Whereas season three, I would argue that slows down a bit.
Season
It
two,
takes
yeah,
its
with the
time
John
more.
Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, especially that.
Yeah.
And because we've been around this for so long, they kind of ditched like the academy stuff, which I'm was happy about because I didn't want to be stuck in that school. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know what the school is like for magic school, for military.
It's
It was
just
it
so
was
it's for the Knights, the Dark Knights. It's like what their country produces most. It's like their military nation. It's
Technically
like
a military school. Okay, okay.
yeah.
yeah. So that's what it seemed like to me at least.
Yeah, they were, I mean, it's like most, I mean, it's an anime, dude. You have to have like that school.
Well, yeah, the structure and
It's the
technically like
main demographic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the shonen aspects are kind of like thrown in there, but it turns out to be like Akame got killed. It turns out to be like Full Metal Alchemist, like this whole epic world building. Everything is gonna go straight to this point kind of thing, kind of story. Whereas like a lot of magical schools, a lot of like yeah, magical school shows in general stay in school. Like we're not
Well,
going
I think
anywhere.
that's one of the things that we like so much about this show,
Yeah,
and one of the things that we keep commenting on, that it has all of those tropes within it where it's like you're gonna get this, you're gonna get like he wants to be this normal background high schooler kind of like I'm not making any waves, I'm not the main character, but it happens within that setting, and so
yeah,
the settings keep growing and growing because his um his powers and ambitions and the things that he wants to do keep growing, and he
Hmm.
has to come up, he has to like when he does the goddess festival or the
Yeah.
Bushin festival,
yeah.
the
Bushin.
ways that he finds to like, and that's, for everybody else, the stakes are like getting bigger and bigger. For him, it's like, I need a bigger audience. I need to do bigger moves. I can do this big fight scene. This is the way this is going to play out.
Yeah, and that
The
one, I would consider that the most important arc. Like to like fully go full throttle with the show.
It was really
Yeah.
interesting to watch like the division between and that's where it starts to form between him and Shadow Garden,
Yeah.
where he's having like when he's interacting with the Demon Lord and they're interacting with the Cult Diablos within the sanctuary. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
thought that was like for me one of the most interesting parts of the whole show because they're definitely having a very different experience within it. And even
Hmm.
him, I thought that there were moments where he's like, "Well, I'm in this. I don't really know what's going on in right now." But like, I felt for me, it felt like one of the most genuine things for him.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the because like the I don't that was like the Witch of Calamity, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
okay,
That was he
yeah.
was with.
The
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Bushin
Aurora.
festival. Yeah, the Bushin festival is after. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Because I'm like he didn't hide anything. He was just like his normal I don't care self with her. And it was yeah, that was the coolest part. And I think that when they were the Shadow Garden part were in the sanctuary, like I think going off of what you said, like how they experienced it, it was like they saw what happened to them. They saw how they were created and everything.
yeah,
I
their
think that was
origin
cool.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just reiterated what you said. I'm sorry. I zoned out for a second. I'm sorry.
you're okay.
But
That's all
that's
right.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Ultimately, the first season, because first season is such a blur, like so
Mhm.
fast, so
Well, there's
fast.
yeah,
Well, it happened a little while ago, so it's like if you didn't take the time to go back, there's
Yeah.
so much that happens. It's kind of difficult to keep up with.
what's 20 episodes? I mean, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
that's a lot of
Even
time to cover.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
yeah. There's a lot of arcs.
Yeah,
I like the progression of his two high school buddies.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Potato
funny.
and
yeah.
They're funny.
what was his name?
I don't
It was
remember his.
Potato. It was
They're-
Potato and
I got. Um,
Him during the Bushin festival, the blonde kid during the food that was hilarious.
yeah, he
And
kept on losing bets.
that was
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Oh
Me
man,
sports betting.
yeah.
It's legal in Florida.
I'm
Uh,
not even betting Super Bowl.
It's legal in
Oh no.
Illinois.
It's it wouldn't let me. Whenever I went on like DraftKings or at sports books, it wouldn't let me.
No.
You were too young. I
Oh
don't know.
well.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
fun. They were probably trying to save you.
Probably. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he was hilarious. He was hilarious. Just losing bets everywhere.
Yeah,
And he just looks even more and more downtrodden every time you see him.
yeah. I love that they when they bought the knockoff designer clothes and the labels
Yeah.
just started coming off. Yeah,
The second season, and one of them turns into a zombie in the Blood Moon arc.
yeah. He's a ghoul. He's about to devour it. Yeah, he's about to devour his friend. Pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also ties into one of my favorite lines. This is early on in the first season. He basically says, didn't I pick the best background friends or what?
Yeah.
The meta lines in the show
He
are
really
like,
does.
yeah, the meta lines are up through the roof in the show.
Oh
But I
yeah.
love that he kind of grows tired of them. You know, he's like, you know what, you guys are just like
You're
when
too
he,
background for me.
yeah, essentially, kind of, sort of, sometimes, like in that one, like he punches both of them and they have no idea their stomachs are just hurting because like he's like, no, you deserve a punch and you deserve a punch, and so yeah. Oh man.
I do
Um,
love he's overpowered done right. I like it.
very
Yeah,
much so. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
and
Yeah.
that could be like our
He's overpowered. He's overpowered in a. It's not like overpowered where there's no stakes for anything else. Like he's
But he is
overpowered.
the overpowering force in his
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he's not. It's not like all right. There's a big fight, and you know he's going to do something to end it quickly. But he has these other characters around him to give you the stakes and the fight and the intrigue that you want in the fight, just
Mhm.
for him to come in and just be like, all right, one shot.
yeah. And
Daddy's home.
yeah, and Kyle, Jamal sent a list a couple weeks ago. I don't even want to tell the name of the site because it was such a bad list. It was like the top 25 OP characters.
oh
And
okay, yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
this was a god awful list, and these are characters that don't even have OP. There's characters with the advantages. There are villains listed in there. They're not
which
exactly heroes. So the whole philosophy of OP we could say for another day, but Eminence was not even that list, and that was like the biggest crime. Because after watching this show, he's beyond top 10, like top
Yeah.
5 OP
Yeah.
Chat,
based on power alone. Oh, what?
you are the last person that should talk about a bad list.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's all I was
the
trying
point
to
is,
moving on. What?
but the point is that even even with his powers and everything, he uses it as his last wild card. He really wants to get the philosophy of his OP through the world, and second season does that brilliantly with this currency arc, this counterfeit arc.
I thought the first
And
season did it better of showing just
okay,
how much better he was than everyone else,
Yeah,
especially in like the in like the season finale fight when
okay,
he
because
just
he
when
took
he just dominated them and then showed that
Yeah.
he could destroy them and
yeah,
then said, "Nah, I'm good."
One
He's
of
like,
them
I'm
is a
not
in
going
goddess.
the
to.
in the when he
One
was
of them is a
the
goddess.
dude in the
One,
tournament.
one of them
Yeah.
is a goddess.
Yeah.
That is true. But in the second one,
Iris.
even like
Well,
controlling currency in the world, like I want to make
Yeah.
sure I clean this world up by any means necessary.
well, I think what you guys are talking about is OP in two different ways
Yes.
Yes.
because and that's one of the things that I love about this show is that it plays with isekai tropes because it plays with all of them. Like there's isekai where a character will come in and have a lot of magical ability and it'll focus on that. And there's where they'll bring knowledge from another world and they'll focus on that. But in this show, it plays out all of that.
Yeah.
All of that gets played out, whether, like with Alpha and all of them, all the different things that they do. Like at some point, like one of them is a piano player. And
Yeah.
so like she's brought, and then the writer, so they're OP and like she's an OP author because she's stolen like,
look classics.
Beethoven,
He's
Mozart.
dictated. He's told her dictated these stories and books to her, so and she's writing them.
yeah. And
And
so
then
you
she
you
kind of
get all
writes
of
about
that.
his escapades too.
Yeah, she does. And then like you said in that the at the end of the Bushin festival with Iris and
Beatrice,
Beatrix,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Beatrix.
Alpha's
Uh,
sister.
yeah, he's playing with them the entire time he's running
Yeah.
through the city,
Hmm.
and it's like Kyle said, like he just grabs her, he knocks one of them down, grabs the other one, throws her on top of the other one, and then just
He
slams his
fucking
foot.
slams him. Oh
His,
my God. I'm like,
yeah,
And stomps them, and they're
yeah.
grounded. They're dead.
Like he's like, all right, they're like when he says, "Oh, we'll catch you," he's like, "Oh no, no,
me?
yeah." He's like, "Oh, you thought I was running? Oh no." He's like, "Playtime's over. You don't understand. This was
Yeah.
fun." He was having fun, and
And he
oh,
wanted
I'm
to
sorry.
join in on the fun.
Yeah, and then he had to school them and say, "Oh no, you guys don't get it. This is not about This is
Y'all are
not."
the background characters.
Yeah,
I'm
essentially, he's
him.
like, "Yeah,
Timothy.
I am the Eminence in Shadow." Sorry,
Yes.
give a second, guys.
Yeah, that was good, man. That whole festival where he was just kind of the
Mundane man.
mundane man,
One of his
Yeah,
aliases.
which
Yep.
again looked just like him.
it
Like
did.
and the
Nobody could
funny thing
tell.
is, like, what show was that? No, Mushko Tensei. When we were like, how could he not tell that was Sylphie?
Oh, okay.
It's got the
Yeah.
same thing going here, but he's so ridiculous that it works. Because it's like,
Yeah.
how could you not tell that Sid is Shadow and the mundane man is Sid? Like it's not he's not even trying to hide it, but these people cannot see it.
Well, how he transitions is clever because there's that one scene where he's about to have one of the fights, I believe against Cyrus, and he's like,
Hmm.
he's in front of the crowd, and one of the villains is in the skybox looking down, and he sees Sid going to the bathroom, and he's like, "Ugh, why did I look at that?"
It's so ridiculously obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the
Even the
It's
show
whole
so
like
like?
plays
At the
with that.
festival too, like he just leaves his drink and shit, fucking
Yeah.
sends a firework, and then he just appears. Like,
Like here are my distraction
they
tactics.
literally called his fucking name.
Yeah, yeah, and
Huh.
then but after everything that happens, people are like, "Who?" And that keeps happening throughout the whole show. They're like, they forget about who he is because he's either playing dead or something so crazy happens that like they look for him afterwards.
Yeah.
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 It,
Yeah.
and they
He's
said,
always dead.
and with the political sphere, they make Claire look like the alpha, like the top person in the family, and he's the baby brother getting bullied and
Yeah.
beaten at.
And
That's what he
that was
wanted.
something I was gonna like bring up too. Their dynamic is a very interesting dynamic because
A very abusive one.
it's a very but he kind of deserves it.
But also
But
Claire's also
He deserves
very yeah.
When
Claire's
she
in a,
tried to crush his windpipe, he deserved it.
but Claire's
Yeah.
also like half monster. Like there's things going on with her. Then
like
Aurora
Claire,
takes over
but
her.
she really does care about him a lot.
She does,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like the thing is like he may find her annoying and
But he
like,
didn't save her.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
That's his sister. Yeah.
yeah, but there's something there.
Barely.
Like there's something there. It's different than the other characters where he's kind of like creating their story and it's just like, hey, look, all right, I'll let you be the strong one and I'll be the one that's chasing after you. Like he is allowing her
To
to
be the main
play that
character.
role
Yeah.
in a way that he's not allowing everybody else to be. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the Shadow Garden, they can't do what they want to do. Like his sister and later on Rose, who he tries to manipulate into who he wants to be. But his sister's really the only one that kind of like has a little autonomy in the situation,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
which I find very
Well,
interesting.
because she's real,
Yeah,
in a sense, where Shadow Garden, he feels they're just playing out their roles that
He
they've
thinks they're
assumed.
NPCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're playing out these roles, and there are times where I think he honestly feels like they're taking advantage of like the stuff that he's told them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, but with his sister, it's like none of that is fake. It's all real. So it's like I think he kind of just accepts that from her.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think in one of I think it was the Blood Queen arc. It was like he
Yeah.
pushed her to be the main character.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
post that.
yeah.
He-
He wants her to be the fucking sorry, excuse my French. She wants her to be like the face of like the world and
yeah.
their world in that
It-
sense.
and
Yeah.
they thought during that arc that he was abducted, and he defeated the main villain anyway. And he was like, "Oh, I'll just wait in the treasure room, and they'll find me there to look badass."
Well, he was like, he kept making the late entrance. And he
Yeah,
said, you know what? I need to switch it up. I'm becoming predictable. I need to change it up so that it's like, I'll show up, take care of them, then I'll go and it'll be over. And so he thinks that he's done that. He thinks that he goes in, he kills everybody, he leaves, he thinks, oh, I'm done. It's over. And then the shit hits the fan and he's nowhere to be found. And then he's like, oh, wait, yeah, maybe I should like deal with this.
yeah. And during that arc too, Claire, she has a wonderful exchange with one of the supporting characters during the servant that's supposed to help out the main villain. And the
Hmm.
servant Mary, she's like, "Oh, okay, thank you for helping me out. And after you help me out, I'm gonna help you out, Claire, and we'll help out save your brother." And Claire, in her like wonderful comeback, she's like, "Nah, that's not necessary. This is my story."
She's like, no, I can save him. Yeah.
And it has that awkward pause, and it
Yeah.
was the funniest moment in the whole show, in my home opinion.
Well, because it's like they're both Billy badasses, and it's like, nah, I got this. Nah, I got this. And you get that a lot from a lot of the people on this show who think, oh, I'm a badass this or I'm a badass that.
yeah,
And no, no, Sid schools them repeatedly over and
Yeah, yeah,
over and over again. It's like, no, you think you're a badass until you've met an actual badass.
yeah. The closest one, I would argue, the closest one that kind of like weans down Shadow a little bit is Delta,
Yeah,
because Delta can recognize him even with the bullshit
yeah,
aliases,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like he has to communicate to her, so everything will be all gravy,
But she
baby.
has
So
that animalistic sense,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
so
and
she
she's
can
young.
like.
Yeah,
It's like, nah, this is. I know who this is, and that's why they sent her out to look for him when he was in the lawless city because
yeah,
she did have that ability. And she wanted something to do. She wanted to be like that point on something. But yeah, she was easy. Like John Smith, no, no,
No.
you're
She's like, I
Shadow,
know, your shadow. Yep.
you're Shadow, and he's
She's
got to like come up with a game. What again? Like you said, everything always backfires on
yeah.
him. So he's got to come up with something. They're thinking she's dead, and he's got to send her off on some other mission. So, and oh man, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It is insane.
yeah.
Yeah. This uh-huh.
Yeah, even that during that arc with the counterfeit bill arc, like when he made his initial plans with Yukine, she solves up the problem anyway, and he's disappointed.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's like, "Ah, she got it. Okay."
Yeah.
He's like, "I thought I had it." Yeah. He's like, "Is that what you really think?"
yeah, yeah,
And then he's like, "Wait, yeah, that's good. Let's do that."
And that's the evolution of everything because he comes up with like the chocolate and everything, but she's so good with the money. It kind of reminds me of in Liqueur's Recoil when she looked at the books and she was like, "Oh no, we got to turn this cafe around."
yeah,
It had the same similar vibe with the store to me, and
Yeah.
even he was surprised by how much money she made. And he's like, I couldn't have even done this.
He's like, "Wait, what? Wait, how much money are you guys making?"
Right?
And
Yeah.
they
So
make
he's
the
essentially trying to steal gold bars from his own store.
Which
and they
makes no
even have
sense
their
because they would fund anything that he needed.
Right.
Like he
they're
when he
they're that
steals the
loyal to
money,
him.
well, when he steals the money from the vampires, I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? These girls would give you all the money that they have. They would go broke and live destitute. And he just doesn't like it doesn't register in his head because he's like, oh, they're just doing their own thing. They're just playing out their own scenes. It's like, no, dude, no.
No.
Like when are you gonna like, yeah, like but he's so powerful that it doesn't it's almost like this is his it's almost like a video game for him. It's almost like he's playing
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto and he's on God mode and it's like it's insane.
it definitely is. Because it's
Yeah.
like he wanted them to build something so that they could fund the projects for Shadow Garden. And they built it too successfully. So now he's got to go out and find a way to get money on his own. And that's
Well,
why
I
he's
don't
stealing his money. It's like you said, like, why are you doing this?
well he never really like Shadow Garden is Shadow Garden, but it was never really I don't think that at any point that he really felt that A, it was a real organization
I agree.
and that B, it was gonna like turn into what it turned into. And then when it did, he was kind of like, "Oh, I gotta rein them in. They're just being ridiculous." But he has no sense of like, okay, these are like descendants. These are actual descendants of the Demon King that have been created to be like this military force. They don't. It's like there's no clue to this. It's like what happened. Like he really has no clue. And so it's like when Jamal said, he's like, "Oh, they're printing their own money." It's like, "Oh, I gotta like they're destabilizing they're destabilizing the entire economies of these governments. I
Mhm.
have to shut them down." He's like, "I gotta shut them down so I can rebuild this and so it can be like more balanced because if not, they're gonna topple these governments and he needs the status quo to maintain his, like secondary character status.
Yeah,
And his delusions and his status in general and
Yeah.
power. Yeah, that's why I said earlier with OP factor, like the philosophy of the world has to be mine. That's it. No bueno.
Well, yeah, you can't if you're playing Grand Theft Auto, if you're playing any open box, if you're playing Skyrim or you're playing, like the world can't collapse because if the world collapses, then it's like you're playing an entirely different game.
Exactly.
yeah,
Good call.
You
It's
know?
like
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto Online. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
play that. I'd rather play the story mode. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in God mode and he's already in God mode, but if it breaks down, he has to stay in God mode. He has to essentially be the eminence in shadow all the time. You can't be a bad it's like, it's like you can't be like if you were to pick two Mel Gibson characters, you can't be Mad Max and the guy from Lethal Weapon at the same time. It's like,
yeah,
you need the world to be the way it is in order to live that background character lifestyle. Because if it collapses and, the world ends, it's like, you can't have that anymore. And so I think that's where he's kind of like when he's like, I gotta stop them because if I don't stop them, they're gonna they're gonna mess with my chill existence.
Yeah, I agree, man. It goes so, and it's like they're starting to create their own story. And
They
he's like,
are.
whoa, 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 hold on. This wasn't part of my story.
No.
So he's got to undo what they do to
Yeah.
get him back on track with his story, which is a
Yeah.
made up story,
Anyway,
but is
so
real,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
actually
yeah.
but is actually happening.
One of
So
my favorite meta quotes also is this scenario is terribly flawed.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's there in this lawless city. Um, this is where um
Or the
was
goal
lawless
arc.
city is where he gave Rose the powers like before he went to the lawless city, right? Or it was
He didn't
after?
he didn't give Rose the
Before
powers.
it
He
was
didn't give Rose the powers. The Demon King did.
Wait, what happened?
yeah,
He didn't give Rose the powers?
it was
No.
Aurora. Or I thought no,
He
no Aurora's with Iris. My mistake.
so what he's done for all of them is like he's what's it called? Because they're possessed. And he's cured their possession.
You're
That's
okay, yeah,
how
yeah,
yeah, that's how all the
yeah,
elves are
yeah.
essentially still human. He
Hmm.
healed her, but when what was the vampire queen's name? Well, the
Oh,
vampire queen,
Elizabeth.
yeah, she awakened like the other half of the formula within
Hmm.
Rose. And the Demon King was the one she had that dream where she was in that the gym uniform outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that dream, the Demon King kind of like makes it so that she can control those powers, so that she doesn't like lose control of her body.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
who was
they're
it?
all kind of clones of her.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to who was it when he was sitting there
Yeah.
and playing the piano and he was like, I'm gonna give you a gift?
Aurora.
Oh, that was no, that was Rose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I was referring to.
Oh,
Oh,
in the
okay. I see what
finale.
you're saying.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
finale. At the finale. Gotcha.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah,
lie,
that
I
was
was
that
so
was
lost
that
for a
was that
second.
was the end of the first season before Lawless City, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Because
Yeah.
he was
Okay.
yeah. Because that was when he stole the piano.
Yeah.
That
Because
was right.
that's
Yeah.
important because he needed the piano because he thought the piano was going to be the next cool thing.
Yep.
And so
Hmm.
they had to have the scene where he was playing the piano for her. And that's what he gave Rose when he was like, I'm gonna give you a gift.
Yeah.
And like you said, kind of chose her to be the chosen one.
And he
Right.
stole that
Hmm.
piano from Gamma. He stole that piano from the department store.
No, he saw that one from
No, that was from where she
the
was
concert.
playing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
concert
Oh, the
hall.
concert. Epsilon, when
Yeah.
she played it. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and it's hard to cross all these characters sometimes. Ugh.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of characters. They keep growing. They keep coming out. Like when Rose goes to train with them,
Yeah.
and she's like number 666, and I'm like, how many of them? How many operatives do these people have?
Yeah,
Where like they're just numbering them now,
yeah. And 665 and 664 help
Yeah.
her
Yeah,
out.
so many of them
and
they're
they're
just
always eating
numbered, but then
chicken.
they give them names after they finish the training.
The training, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
the
wonder if
debut
that's
of
how I'm
Vic.
gonna be.
They ran out of Latin letters to go through
Or Greek,
the
Greek,
the
Greek
the
numbers.
Greek alphabet,
Yeah.
so they
Uh,
had to do something else.
And speaking of which, if you guys had to pick your singular favorite character or characters, what would it
oh
be?
wow,
Ooh,
that's
probably.
hard.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I
fuck.
have a wild card. I have a surprise. I have a surprise.
is it an elf?
Because and that's one of the things about this. Well, most of the girls are elves,
Yeah, I
so
know.
it's like
It's not
yeah.
an elf. It's not an elf.
Um, that's
I'm
the
gonna
thing
choose
about
a
this
Witch of
show is that
Calamity.
um,
I think
all of
I
these
think I might know who
characters,
Jax is.
all of these characters become pretty strong in their own right. I
Yeah,
mean, they're not. These are not like shadow. These are not. They're not shallow like one-dimensional characters. Like everybody gets their arcs, everybody gets their stories, and you think they're not going to.
Hmm.
You think they're not going to, but as the show progresses, like everybody gets their arc, and their time to shine, and they grow, and you're like, I want to see what happens to them.
Right.
You become interested in their fates. And I was kind of surprised that that happened over the course of the show because I'm like, this is just ridiculousness. But
Hmm.
I'm glad that they did that because if it had just continued to be just his insanity, I don't think you would have cared as much.
No.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, even like a character like Gamma, she knows her role and like the perfect timing, especially with her funny
Yeah.
beats and stuff. Yeah.
I think they realized that like the stuff with Shadow Garden is far more intriguing than his stuff. And so in a way he does kind of become a side character in his own show,
Yeah.
which is very like and
Which is
it's
what he
it's very
wanted.
strange how that plays out, but in a way, he kind of is because it's
Yeah.
like, all right, we know he's going to come in and save at the end, but what's going on with them? And as they're trying to figure everything out, and in many ways trying to figure him out,
Yeah.
as that second season progressed, they're like, all right, what is he trying to do?
Well, that was a good switch to pull
Yeah,
because it was like we had just seen him and what he was doing. And then as they pull that switch, and you start to see that the girls, who the girls are, what they're going through, you start to realize that that's what this show kind
It's
of
really
like
about.
really about. Yeah.
yeah,
It's not like he's still on his insanity shit, just the way he was in our world. He was
Hmm.
like, it's like I'm gonna play Nightwing in, in on Earth. I'm gonna play
Juiced up
Nightwing.
Nightwing.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Nightwing on Earth,
and
and
he's going to be part of the Suicide Squad isekai.
you know, and then he transitions into like I'm gonna be Batman in this world.
Yeah,
But he's still like he said it too. He said it like everybody else kept growing and they moved past this, but
yeah,
I can't move past this. I need to be the strongest. And like, but the same thing is happening to him in this world where the girls are like they've accepted him as their savior because he saved them
yeah,
and he gave them these OP tools, but they're kind of like growing beyond like what he gave them and like overcoming their origins. And so it kind of like separates where he's still going down that path while the rest of the world is like changing and like, coming to its ultimate conclusion.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
But
one thing I don't like about it is that like there's no progression Sid's character or like any of his characters. Like he's been the same since the first like scenes he was in. I
yeah.
think that's the
Well,
one
yeah,
thing like I don't like about it.
it's a
yeah,
fair point.
yeah,
But for
it's
me,
yeah,
for me, it's because of like I said earlier, he pretty much finished the story. He doesn't have
Yeah.
to like learn from it in a way, in a weird way. He should,
Yeah.
and I agree with you in that regard, Kyle. So
Well, Kyle, like
Yeah.
we were while you were gone, we came up with we came up with like a metaphor for him
Hmm.
where essentially this is like it's like he's playing Skyrim or it's like he's playing a video game. So
Hmm.
he wouldn't change
Yeah.
because for him the stakes are just like, oh, I want to live out this cool scenario in another world. And so he does that. He lives out these cool scenarios, but like the stakes for him, it's like, oh, that's just not real. It's like, yeah, yeah, it is. And so,
I feel like he
so
thinks he's in a coma. Like
yeah,
all that CTE, I think is
yeah.
putting him in that tree.
Well, yeah, ramming his head into that tree could have done it. Yeah,
or yeah, Truck couldn't technically knock him out. Yeah,
yeah.
That's the most OP character in fucking anime.
Raccoon, man.
Raccoon.
Truck-kun. That motherfucker got a list.
Truck does not lose.
No,
Truck-kun do not lose.
It,
Except against the Parasite guy, I think.
and Truck-kun was also involved in ReZero, and ReZero kind of is like the same, like isekai, like
Mhm.
madness behind it. So yeah,
I never really
um,
liked ReZero. I'm not gonna lie.
no shame. It's a complicated beast.
Kyle,
Yeah.
you and me too.
I'm
I
like, I'm not sure if I'm dumb or just
No, you're not. It's not. It's not. Trust me, Eminence and Shadow is more sophisticated. Definitely, I recommend it over ReZero.
ReZero is emotionally abusive.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's emotionally abusive. That show, if you want to torture yourself, if
Yeah.
you want to emotionally torture yourself, you watch ReZero.
yeah.
That's really all that show does.
but it's like the same like line trajectory with the madness aspect of Isekai. That's what I'm trying to get at. They're not
Oh no,
like
I can
cross-acting.
see that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can see that because he's kind of like I can see that. That for ReZero, it's far more tragic.
yeah.
Okay.
Far more
It,
tragic. Yeah.
and Musho Tensei is like it analyzes that and it it grounds itself.
Yeah.
Well, Mushko Tensei, I think, is tragic in its own way, in that Rudy just doesn't get it sometimes.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
character study. That's a good observation. Yeah,
It's more
Where,
mental
but
block than anything.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But with Sid, it's like Sid's tragic in a different. Well, no, I think it goes back to what Jamal said, because Sid doesn't care.
yeah.
No.
At the end of the day, Sid really doesn't care. Like he said it too. He was sitting on the train. I think he was talking to
Yukine.
Alexia.
no, Alexia. He was talking to
Ah,
Alexia, and he's like, because he's talking about her sword fighting style, and he tells her, you know what? He's like, I don't think I'm a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
He's like, if you know, if a tidal wave or something, if some disaster killed like a million people on the other side of the planet, he's like, I wouldn't care. But he's like, I know what I like, and I like your fighting style.
Hmm.
that's a good
You know,
motif. Good
Yeah.
callback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm
W
glad you said that
Riz.
because that was something that I definitely wanted to,
hmm
that I've been wanting to say. That like he said it more than once. I think I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy.
yeah,
He just wants to do what he wants to do. I'm the eminence in shadow,
yeah, and he has
and
enough
he's
power where he can do it.
yeah,
Yeah, and that was one of the splinters in Charter Garden as well when he said, Mom, I don't care if you paint me out to be the villain. I don't care if you paint me out to be a god.
yeah,
I'm gonna do what I want to do. That was what, a huge splinter in Shadow Garden because they didn't even realize what they were doing.
Yeah. True.
yeah,
Well, yeah,
It,
she had said, like Alpha said, she's like, I thought we stood for justice.
yeah,
Hmm.
Uh, and like she's like, well, we have to follow him, because he essentially tells him it's essentially it's a throwaway line for him.
yeah,
But he's like you said, Kyle, it's like, I don't care if you hate me or not. And it's like he really doesn't. He really doesn't care. I mean, I think that was just a line for him.
Hmm.
Uh, but I think at the same time it was like kind of a truth, like what he told them on the when he's fighting Iris and Bellatrix
yeah,
on the on that rooftop. He's like when he stops and he says, "Oh, you think I'm running?" That wasn't a line. That wasn't like a throwaway line that he was
right,
trying to be fancy with. Like he's legitimately telling them, like, this is my. And you're right, it created a splinter in Shadow Garden because they're like, we thought we stood for justice, but like we'll have to do what we have to do.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and
love
that's
that whole
yeah.
that episode. I love that one.
yeah. Well, it's
That
fun
was
to
a good
watch
episode.
them like grow away from him
Hmm.
in what they
Yes,
need to do. Like, because
yeah,
Jamal said they're trying to figure him out and they're trying to figure out what he's doing, and they really can't because his
He doesn't know what he's
agenda.
doing.
He doesn't know. Yeah,
right.
yeah. He really doesn't know what he's doing. He's
And
just
that's what
like,
they don't quite understand.
no,
They don't understand that he doesn't know what he's doing,
yeah,
and he's just changing things on the fly.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
when they go into the whole thing with Rose and the perv and her mom and everything,
perv ass hat.
yeah. Which
oh,
is
the
again, it's
name
like
the
The
names
names
since
of
in
the
this
that's
show.
show are so
nobody's real
funny.
name,
yeah.
they never give you his name.
No,
So
they
it
don't.
makes you think like this is just his delusion. He's got to be suffering from CTE, and this has to be the retelling of a story or something because that's not anybody's actual name. But they
This is
do
his
not give
manga.
him a name.
He's at the show's gonna end with like him being transferred to one of the other dimensions, and it's just him being a manga writer.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this-
yeah.
Uh,
And my favorite name, even better than Pervass had, is Mudane, man.
oh my
Mudane,
God.
man.
Yeah. And nobody like laughs. They
But
these
we do.
we do
like no
because
one's like bats an eye.
well he insists on being called Perv, like Lord Perv, and I'm like,
Yeah,
wait, did this show just totally go off the rails? Because it's like,
Yes, it's been
yeah,
off the rails since the first scene,
it was
the
yeah,
first
totally
episode.
off the
yeah,
rails. Everything that had to do with him was just way out there.
yeah,
Yeah,
It was way, and it got worse as the season progressed,
it's a
all the
normal
way up
anime
into the last couple episodes.
minus Shadow.
Yeah,
yeah. I
Well,
agree,
it
Kyle. I agree. Yeah,
and And
If
initially, going back to my question of what your favorite character is, we all agree the fascinating character, the character, is Shadow.
Yeah.
And it's like, even like if you have favorites, the whole show is Shadow.
Oh
The
yeah.
whole story is
He's
Shadow.
not even. He's probably not even in my top 5.
Well, no, but
He's
what I mean is that we talk about the most with depth, things like that.
yeah.
Insanity. Yeah.
What is
Jack,
your
who's
top
your
like?
favorite character?
Yeah.
Rose.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's not
say
surprising.
no, not at all.
Okay. Like, she's the only character in that show that definitely got shit done. And even though it cost her status, she's rising from the ashes kind of thing. And yeah, it's like one of those fascinating things where I wouldn't like this type of character, like the foreign princess. What's her deal? Like, it should have been like one arc, but no, she carries on and does her own thing, even more so than Alexia, even more so than Alpha.
My Lexia was my favorite character in the show.
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Just
I like her sassiness.
yeah, that's why I like her. That's a
I,
yeah,
I
sassy man.
liked Iris.
same.
Iris was
Okay.
my
Yeah,
favorite for
I liked
sure.
her little madness moments and like when
yeah,
she was like losing her shit versus Shadow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
because
I
she's
liked
had
it.
her story's so good. Because she
Yeah.
had all this pressure on being the next to the throne, and she's always been the best. And she
Mhm.
mentally broke down because this
She
dude
lost.
just comes in and just washes her.
Yeah.
So now it's like it's not just I lost, and it's not just like I was the strongest and I lost to somebody. It's like the fate of the kingdom is on me, and there's a stronger presence out there than me. So now she's
She's
losing, and
only
she's
been the
like,
strongest.
Yeah.
yeah,
And,
And that's
yeah.
what she's been her whole life.
So
she,
like
and
her story was, I always liked
Yeah.
Iris's story. She's my favorite.
she has the
Yeah.
best power up too. That flame sword that goes half the city. Oh, that's fucking
Well, he
badass.
tells her he's like an artifact. Really? He's like,
Cheap
really?
ass.
But
Yeah,
it's a damn good artifact that can kill anyone besides Shadows.
Well,
yeah.
she
He's
and the thing was she didn't want to use it.
no,
Yeah.
She had to.
yeah,
She doesn't use it. She had to at that time because he was
Yeah.
just like
beyond.
Light years beyond, yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Right. They're not even like no one has even come close to even touching him. It's like
No,
No.
Well,
No.
that one arc with the church sanctuary, that was like where he was trapped, similar to like
but even then he was
He
like
was in no
severely
danger.
nerfed and he
yeah,
still
He
dominated.
was
I
in
know.
no danger.
Don't get me wrong. It's in contrast with Kaisen, with
well,
Gojo being
he
trapped in the box.
like there's
That
something.
type of analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's something that bothers me, and I don't know if you guys want to like chime in on this. Like he almost has this ability to like alter reality. Like when those lines show up, like his magic, and he talks about formulas, and he talks about like when he talks about like this is the formula. At first, I thought that he was talking about. At first, I thought he was talking about like this is the way a show would play out. But then I started to think about like the Bushido festival, and I'm like, can he move so fast because he can already like he already knows what's gonna happen? Like to the point where it's like almost like the Matrix with like bullet time, where he can just like break it down until like read the code
I am the
and
one. Yeah.
yeah, where he can like literally read the formula, literally like he's like, I know what's gonna happen. Like, did you guys ever get that sense where sometimes where like when he has his eye closed in the sanctuary, it's like I knew that he was doing something, but it's like I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure what it was. But he
Yeah.
was essentially like, I'm reading the formula. I know I can essentially predict all the outcomes. Like essentially he's in God
I thought he
mode.
was just memeing, honestly.
Okay.
Like
Well,
as like
there's definitely that aspect to him because
hmm
always like he's always memeing. It's like
yeah.
he's like, all right, I'm gonna play this out. I'm gonna play this out. I'm gonna play out this meme and this meme and this meme. But then
hmm
sometimes I'm wondering because he obviously has a power that is, regardless of whether or not he's delusional, his power
hmm
is very, very real.
I
Yeah.
I, I
And
consider
I'm
it like
wondering Yeah.
I'm considering it similar to Gojo in a sense that he has the ace up the sleeve, like the all powerness of not predicting things, because that would ruin the story in a sense. Even though I said that he already has the story finished ahead of time, there's still like things that surprises him, and like random occurrences that make him step back a little bit. So like the during the Bushin festival with the swordplay and everything,
Mm-hmm.
essentially it's just him finally using the tool in a shed, essentially.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that. I like
He's
that take.
he's like picking a sword, like, oh, I haven't used this club in a while, you know.
Yeah.
Like
I, I,
changing it up.
Yeah,
he's changing up his formulas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, that's what I mean. It's like it's not only the memes and how like if we're gonna watch a show, we might be able to predict what happens because we've watched so many shows
Yeah.
Like,
and
because
go
sorry,
ahead,
I'm gonna
Josh.
cut you off. Because I think that because he's like, he nerfs himself in almost every fight he's done. I thought he
Mm-hmm.
was just doing that again at first. And then when it kept going on for a full episode, I'm like, okay, now some shit's happening.
Yeah.
So I think that was like, at least for me, that's how I thought it was.
Well, they can nerf his magic, but
Mm.
I think what I'm trying to get to is what's the actual nature of his magic? Because it
yeah.
seems to be different than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like,
And
yeah.
and the Bushin and the Sanctuary were indicators. I do agree there.
Hmm.
It's just them having fun with it at the end of the day. At least in
His
my opinion.
magic is probably something from one of the different dimensions. Remember that they talked about that in the season finale, season two?
Yeah.
Ah,
Maybe
Yeah.
he pulls from that dimension. Maybe that's why it's endless, I think.
Okay.
That's why, because
It's
he's able to
possible.
help the girls out, and like they each have a piece of his magic, and like how does he have so much more than anyone else?
Yeah.
And like there are
Facts.
supposed gotcha characters like the Witch Calamity doesn't even stand a chance against him. Like yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
his own dimension.
Which would make sense to the abilities that he has, which is insane. This
Yeah,
show's just the more you think about this show, the crazier it gets. It's just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
you
like
become
this show
Shadow.
doesn't operate. Yeah, this
It
show
doesn't
doesn't.
brain.
Yeah, like most anime will have some kind of logic, and even if they throw away their logic, it doesn't get that deep. But with this
Yeah.
show, it just kind of like it's deep enough where you can actually like we're doing now, we can actually discuss it. But yeah, it's
Hmm.
pretty batshit crazy.
The chaos is
Yeah.
built into the show.
Oh yeah, it's baked
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
What is so Jack wanted our favorite characters. Does anybody have like a favorite arc or
I
like
know
a
Jax is
favorite
the
moment?
Bushin arc because he keeps
No,
bringing it up.
no. It's the prime example of the show. But my favorite arc actually is the counterfeit money arc.
Really?
this
Okay.
is a lie.
Yeah, the John Smith art. I like that one too. But
Mainly,
okay.
This is a
mainly,
lie.
no, it's not. It reminds me of one of
Jack,
my
you
all-time.
said the Bushin arc about 8 times already.
Jamal. It's not about
He does
quantity.
this every time.
It's not
He
about
does it every
quantity.
He
time.
leads. He leads you on. That's what he
He
Yep.
does
does.
it every time. He hype bombed in a deep dive.
Jamal said it.
He just
Yep.
All
hype
right.
bombed in a deep dive.
I can
Yep.
explain because the
My
arc.
Shangri-La is so amazing. Not even honorable mention.
uh,
So in my official top five all-time every show or anime show I've seen, this number five is Spice and Wolf. And Spice and Wolf is a story about money, about currency, and that whole arc with the counterfeit had that play with it, especially with Yuki and the Nine Tail, similar to a whole the Wolf, talking about money, how currency works. And that was like a nice little like snippet there. I'm like, this the creator, he knows exactly what he's doing.
So okay, because it reminded you of one of your. Is this one of your like actual top 5 favorite shows of all
Oh yeah.
time?
I
Or like,
It's a
rewatched.
gauntlet. It's a gauntlet at five.
It's not a gauntlet. It's not a gauntlet. This one's a legit top five. It's a wonderful show, and they're doing the reboot next spring. So hey,
why are they rebooting?
I don't know. I think it's to refresh it and they have the finale, but it looks
Spice
like
and
it's
Wolf.
yep. It looks like it's
I feel
going
like I did see something about Spice and Wolf coming back at some point.
But didn't they
and
just do their last season recently?
no, that was like 2008.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh shit, that was five.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a long time ago, man.
yeah. And and Elda Otaku Elf, same voice for Holo the Wolf.
I didn't hear a word you just said, but I'm not alone.
Jack is just yeah, Jack and his elves, man. It's like,
Puts me to shame.
yep, you have nothing to worry about, Kyle. Nothing. Jack makes up for it like in like a thousand percent with his love of blonde elves.
Hey, green-haired elves and white-haired elves. There's a lot of elves out there.
Let's not go down this road, Jack. Let's not go down.
The Elf Special featuring
We
Eminence and Shadow.
yep.
A
Talk
lot of
about
elves in this one. Wow.
yeah, a whole they were all elves because they were all descendants
Nope,
of
not Delta or
Yeah,
Gamma.
Beast or
yeah, they
Etta.
were that
Zeta.
was
Zeta's a wolf. Yeah.
that's another curious thing about like is it the bloodline that is it because they were experimented on or they have the bloodline
They
because I
had
don't think
mana overload, I think it was what it was.
Yeah,
yeah it
yeah,
was
it's the
yeah
bloodline. It was
hmm
the bloodline.
yeah
Because in the last
because Claire and Rose both experienced that and I don't think they were ever experimented on the way that the elves were.
right,
Hmm
right. I don't think so either.
yeah, though that would explain a lot.
Like Rose, she's just part of the bloodline that is tied into the ring.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
sickening.
yeah, the
Yeah.
politics.
And that's why it was a bloodline thing because that was the whole thing with the perv because he was marrying her, but he really
Really.
wanted to be with her mom.
He was oh, I
But he's
was
just like, I just need to get,
The bloodline, yeah,
the bloodline. Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
So
this show is so yeah,
and that was
that
kind
was
of
such
brutal.
a
That was brutal
while.
for him to like show
yeah.
Rose that because
Yeah.
he's like, I need to get her back in track. So he's
Like,
like,
yo,
so he shows up and he's like, here, this is what's really going on. That's brutal.
that
But
was
he just doesn't
wild.
care.
No,
Yeah.
He just
That
does not
was
care, man.
because
were
it's
y'all
Sid.
expecting that?
No,
No.
That threw me though. Fuck off.
I never expect a weird sex stuff, though I know it's going to happen. And it's like, hey, I'm with the daughter, but I really want to be with the mother.
well, his name was Perv Asshat. I mean,
Then I'd expect you to be with somebody younger.
did we not just watch Freehan?
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't know what.
No, there's a character in Freehan where he likes older women, and
I
Yeah.
have
that's
I used to have that on my
specifically.
car.
Oh, okay,
But it was like the little stick-on things you put on the back of your car. It
yeah.
says I
Oh
like
boy.
older women.
We call them bumper stickers.
No, but it was like it went in the inside of your car. It wasn't a sticker.
Oh, you
Oh,
mean
okay.
like the flap?
Yeah, like the flap thing. But then I ended up dating someone who's older than me. So
You are 20. They're nothing but older.
that's
Oh,
the
Jamal.
point.
See, he was trying to
All
tell
right.
you, man. He's
So,
mature.
Kyle, what was your favorite arc?
Uh, the Bushin because I loved the last fight, the season finale fight.
Mhm.
That was just I'm like fight cool colors, yay! I'm a child.
Um, Mine was actually the first arc of the second season,
Oh, the
with the
vampire.
Vampire Queen.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
The
good.
yeah,
That was
Lawless
good.
City?
yeah, the
Mhm.
Lawless Silly, because it was the funniest,
Yeah, that
but
was
it
funny.
also like that's my favorite fight scene. The fight scene at the end of the Bushin Festival between
Yeah.
Iris Bellatrix. That's my favorite fight scene. This is my favorite arc because it starts to show how separated he is from them. Like
Mhm.
he's there and he'll come save the day, but he's like a separate entity at this point. and it's also one of the funniest. It has some of like the funniest side. You get a lot of the side characters in there,
Hmm.
and it's really funny.
Yeah.
And
The
yeah,
Goldie guy and the eye patch guy almost dying.
And that's
yep,
where he hears the line and he starts rehearsing it to use
yep,
later on.
yep,
Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a cool line.
yep,
I need to use that later.
yep. And he uses it again and again and again. And it's like at that point you're like, can I take
Dude,
this guy seriously now? I'm like Shadow's dangerous, like world-ending dangerous. But he's just like a little kid. He's like, this is a cool line, so I'm gonna repeat it. It's like
Yeah.
that reminded me
it's
of
like
the scene where like he's like shivering and like I think it was that's Beta, right? The girl with the glasses. She like
mhm,
thinks he's like being all serious and angry, but he's just cold as
Yeah.
shit.
yeah.
That was another one of those moments. It was just like, what the?
They just don't like, yeah. They
Mhm.
don't like, yeah.
I love Shadow. So
Oh
funny.
yeah.
What a little
That was
goober.
that. And
Yeah.
they had the episode where they like finally took a vacation.
Yeah.
Like, we're finally going to take a break for a day.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Y'all deserve it. Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. Chaos still happens.
Yeah.
But it's like, they do deserve a break. Because um I think the Lawless City was probably my favorite arc too. Um, because like you said, that's where you first see the splinter between him and them.
Yeah.
And it's just continuing to go further as you go along, as you transition into like the Rose centric arc. Um, and
It
they're
was
just sitting there trying to figure everything out. So now it's not just like, all right, we're trying to fight the cult of Diablos. Now it's all right, Rose is over here. We've been training her, and now she's defected. And now, in the middle of all that, they got to figure out the cult of Diablos, and they got to figure out Shadow, what he's doing, because he's constant. In the first season, he's just like, all right, you go here, you do this. In the second season, he's constantly working against them.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now they're trying to balance this as well as why this guy is working against us. And their internal conflict is just uh is stellar to me.
Yeah. It's compelling. It's
It's
compelling
very, very
television.
compelling.
Yeah. I mean,
Very
it's
compelling.
just, yeah, that's just compelling television, no matter
Yeah.
whether it's animated or not, because it's like, because they've been building the stakes for these women, like, and they're all women. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all like they've been, abused by society. And so they're like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Especially, I mean, and can you imagine, like, this dude has been their Lord and Savior, like,
Since they
legitimately.
were like, do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally saved their lives.
Well, here's an interesting thought. Like, he's essentially,
Stockholm
because,
with them.
well, yeah, in a
It
sense,
is.
but essentially, like, it's almost like if you want to take this back to religion, like he's almost a god unto himself, because it's like, here's the guy that saved them and set them on this path, and now they've kind of outgrown him, but he still has lessons to teach them. They just don't understand them yet.
Yeah.
And like
I don't
he's
think
like, all
he
right,
understands what he's teaching them yet either,
He's
though.
yeah.
well, he
Well,
doesn't
no,
care.
because yeah, he doesn't like, yeah, like Jamal said, he doesn't care. He's kind of like Shiva. He's the creator and the destroyer.
Yeah.
And it's like it's really interesting to like think these deep thoughts about him when he doesn't think them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
like
like a
we're not.
kid when it's playing with Jenga blocks and they build it up and then the thing like gets too tall and they just knock it over and then they get mad that it falls over and they start doing it again.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's Sid.
Yeah.
He's building this stuff up and building up these stakes just to like,
Knock him down.
knock him down,
Yeah.
knock him down. And it's just, he wants Rose to be in this spot so he could use her And it's just constant, like, all right, oh, she chose her mom. He even says that. He's like, well, I didn't expect that. It's like, but yeah, that's her mom.
Yeah.
It means nothing to him,
No.
but to her, it's like, that's my mom. I know she did me wrong, but that's my mom and she's a hostage. I got to do what I can to save her. And
Well,
it's
Rose, I
crazy.
don't think because that I don't think he realizes how complicated this is for Rose because she had to
Yeah.
essentially she has to assassinate her father.
Yeah.
And her mother now. Shit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's like these are things where I think he doesn't, like you just said, Jamal, it's like he doesn't
He's a
get it.
psychopath.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it and he doesn't care.
He
It's,
actually is a psychopath, I think.
he is.
I could go with that argument. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could go with that argument because he's not concerned with anything really that's outside of the scope of his of what he wants.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And he doesn't understand the motivations of other people because his motivations are so limited.
Mhm.
Like Jamal said, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the destruction or the chaos that he causes. He's just trying to live out his fantasy and like the collateral damage be damn, whatever collateral damage, it's like, oh well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and we kind of it was interesting to see the end with what was the dude's name? The fourth seat, Midger or something. The dude with the purplish reddish hair.
Oh,
Um,
wait,
he
not
was
their
like,
dad, right? The king?
no, not the king. He was like the dude that he was the
Oh,
dude
the
that killed
cult?
her mom in Perv.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like the fourth seat on the court or whatever.
Okay.
Because the
Of the
Perv
12.
was supposed
Yeah.
to marry into the family to become the eighth seat or the
Yeah.
ninth seat. So he was the fourth seat that was like masterminding the whole thing. And he goes in there and he after he chops their heads off and you got them and Rose is all shook and she you think it's her that killed him and she hasn't even lifted her sword and he comes in and he's telling this story and like you're expecting this big fight and Shadow's just like because
Nah.
the Shadow Guard and they're sitting there and this starts a big fight because he's like, all right, I'm bringing out Ragnarok. And he's just playing around with Ragnarok for a minute. And Shadow Garden is fighting their tails off trying to get to this dude. And they ended up, getting him pretty easily. And they're trying to get information from him, get information from him. He's just like, nah. And it was interesting because it was kind of like at the end, Shadow looking at himself because he's like, this wasn't supposed to happen. Uh, why? I didn't expect this. I didn't expect them to do that. Or, this wasn't part of the story or so it was kind of like interesting to see that dynamic and it'll be interesting to see moving forward whether that interaction like has an effect on Shadow
Yeah.
because it was very similar because he's like the shadow playing behind the strings because you think it's the perv that's controlling everything. No, it's he's trying to get in good with the cult of Diablos and this dude is running the stuff and just to see that dichotomy of those two shadows, you know,
Operating. Yeah.
operating in the end and
Well,
how easily he dispatched of them.
well, one of them is intentional
Yeah,
and one of them is unintentional. And it'd
yeah,
be interesting to see if what Kyle talked about is like if because of this we see Sid have any kind of growth,
yeah,
because that's one of the things that doesn't happen over the course of the first two seasons. He doesn't have any growth. He
not at
doesn't
all.
really change. So like this confrontation with Shadow Garden and then his like inability to understand like, hey, wait, this isn't playing out the way I thought it would. It's like, will that change his like, will he finally say, wait, maybe I should stop and pay attention to what's actually going on around me?
Mhm.
But part
Yeah.
of me doubts it. Like,
I
it's
think a
part of
large part of me doubts it.
yeah, yeah, and it's the charm of the show too. It's just
Well,
yeah,
this is the charm of the show, but it's like most shows end. So it's like,
Yeah,
do we want to end it on a note where this guy is just like should be in a straitjacket, or should he be the one who's locked in the sanctuary
Right.
because he's the most dangerous character alive, and he really doesn't care what happens. Like, so far so good, he hasn't wiped out an entire nation, and we don't think that he would, because that's not really what he wants, because he needs them to play out his stories.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's like, what's actually going to happen?
Yeah, he needs
Yeah.
somebody to check him essentially. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, I think you kind of need that growth in him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the show could get a little stale. And it could just kind of be like, all right,
Well,
we're stuck in mud here.
well,
but
even he
we're
said that. Even he
Yeah,
said that at the beginning of season 2. He's like, I always show up early and save the day, or I
yeah,
always show up early, or I always show up
Late.
late. Yeah, I always
yeah.
show up late. He's like, I got to change it up. So
Me
maybe
too,
even
Shadow.
he's,
Me too.
but also
yeah,
it's a story in a show that and you don't like your expectations are just not there. You'll never know. So that's the
no, you don't really. And that's one of the exciting things. That's one of the cool, exciting things about this show is like, you don't know what's going to happen. You really don't. Like Jamal
Yeah,
said, nobody expected that dude to come out of the shadows and be like, I'm the one in charge.
yeah,
Uh, Even Shadow didn't expect that. And so it's like you don't know what to expect with this show. You really don't know like where it's going, and you don't know like how this is going to play out. And that's one of the fun things. Like rewatching this for the podcast, I was like blowing through episodes. Like I was excited for the next episode, or like I
uh-huh.
get to watch the next episode. I get to find out what finally happens. Oh, I get to watch this scene again. Like I was excited. I'm like, bring it on, bring me more.
Mhm.
And it's just gotten better and better.
It has. I mean, I think the most intriguing plot point that they have at their disposal is whether Shadow Garden will turn on them.
I think that'll be the end of the show.
I think
Yeah.
I think that you're
I
Or
almost
think
go
kind of
too
forced
far.
to go in that direction.
they might
Season or
have
go
to.
too far.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
kind of forced to go in that direction because at this point, people love Shadow Garden a lot more than they like Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you just said, Kyle, he's going to go too. He's going to go too far.
Yeah.
He's going to go too far. The dude already nuked the city. Like he's
He
going to
showed him
go
he
too
could. He
far.
technically didn't though.
He brought it. Okay, great.
He
He
played
he brought it
God.
back. Good, wonderful. Where did he
Like
get that power from?
But
Um,
see, that's where I start to like question like what it is that his magic is.
yeah,
Because the first two times he uses atomic to save the world. The next time he uses it, it's to as a light show
right.
to say, hey, this is what I'm capable of, but I don't need to do it. And then the fourth time he uses it, he heals the entire. He not only turns the moon
what
normal
if
again, he heals the entire city.
Yeah.
what
So
if
it's
his
like,
magic is just being able to pull the magic out of the air? That's his magic. Then he's able to
What if his
condense it.
magic is a
But
pen and paper?
could be, could be. We don't know. We don't know how this is going to end. We really don't. But it'll
shows
be,
an end up with him in the hospital,
could
writing his
be,
stories.
The show's going to end like The Sopranos.
or
Don't
it could
I never
it
watched
could have
Sopranos.
all the
I
isekai
haven't seen the
endings.
end, but I know the ending. I've only gotten to like season 3 in The
or
Sopranos,
it
but I know the
intersects in
ending.
ReZero's world. Yeah,
Which
chaos.
I wouldn't doubt, because it seems to play with all the isekai tropes. So
Mhm.
we might see them all at play at the ending. So who knows? Who knows? All the people, they might all be like you said, like Kyle referenced the intro for the first season. They might be all his classmates.
It could
This
be.
might just be all the people around him. Perv Asshat might be the gym teacher, you know. Yeah. You bet. Um, the Witch of Calamity might be the school nurse. Who knows? Claire might actually be his sister. We don't know. It's like
Yeah,
that last season might just play out in the real world.
we'll
Yep.
see.
Yeah. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
This
kind
was
of excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, I think we all are. I think that's one of the reasons that like we felt we needed to do a deep dive on this one because it's so different than a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, I feel like the author's also like schizo or something, because like,
I
Yeah.
agree.
To be honest, that's
Yeah.
how I finished the show because we had a purpose. We had to like analyze it in that regard. Like if we didn't do a deep dive, I would have not caught up with this show to be honest. Because I saw the
Mhm.
initial couple episodes. I didn't finish the first season initially, but it felt
Mhm.
like I know I know it like the structure of it.
yeah,
Well, what's the center? What's the meat of the matter? And sometimes you just need that outlook when it's settled, dust has settled, and it's I was just looking at the popularity list on my anime list. It's ranked 188. So it's trending up and
really?
down.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad.
Number 188.
What's
That's not
number
Um
bad
one?
at
I
all.
number one's free at the moment.
Really?
Not
Yeah.
joking.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And number
Yeah,
two is
Kyle.
Full Metal Alchemist, Kyle. You have to watch
Still
that
fucking
one.
watch? People still watching it? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed. And these are people that actually rank it. Like it's not official. It's just a matter of
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, it's a matter of the populace that are that dedicated to review it. Similar to IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I did confused. Is it Brotherhood or is it the other one?
Brotherhood, good call. It is technically Brotherhood for number two.
Okay, so
Mm.
watch Brotherhood. That's what I'm hearing.
I would watch both, and
I don't know where to find the other one.
okay, yeah, Jamal
Just
can hook you
watch
up.
just watch Brotherhood, Kyle, because
Hmm.
what it does this weird thing where it recaps it, they reference the first incarnation of it
Hmm.
because like for some of the story arcs you kind of have to have knowledge of like they just kind of explain stuff that you should know if you would watch the original that was the hard part when I was watching Brotherhood,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but they
Brotherhood's
do
a
a
Brotherhood's the
they
manga.
yeah they do
Okay.
enough where they cover like you need everything you need to know is laid out in Brotherhood, so just watch that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
You'll
they're
enjoy it.
both
It's really good.
as we've said before, and that's the reason for the debate, they both have their positives and negatives.
Hmm.
Um, like Edwin said, you don't have to watch the first one because Brotherhood is kind of like they're both kind of similar. The first, I don't know, probably like 5, 10 episodes because the start of the first show was following one with the manga. It's just that the manga stopped they surpassed the manga at a certain point. And so the mangaka was like, hey, I want you to create your own story and ending while I'm continuing this. So
Similar to Game of Thrones.
yeah, so with the first show, you have a lot more time for character development, development of the setting. Um, they spend a lot more time with things like a big plot point in Brotherhood,
Hmm.
which was a 2 or 3 episode arc on Full Metal, was just wrapped up in one episode on Brotherhood. So there's a lot less time spent on developing those people. And then in Brotherhood, you have more characters that they had introduce as well. So there's less time to really flesh out the smaller cast of characters that they have in the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, everybody
And
loves Brotherhood. They're both worth watching, but you don't
it,
have to watch 2003.
yeah, it's like a reverse Star Wars because Star Wars you start with episode 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3. It's just a matter of order
That's
of things
you
as
just
well.
end it there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
I was like, yep.
you don't have to overthink it. Just do Brotherhood, but it's like a novel
Okay.
thing because the Full Metal original came years before the official story, as it
Just do
were.
Brotherhood
Okay.
mostly because Full Metal Original is very difficult to find. It's
That's what
on
I
my
Yeah.
Google
was like.
Drive, but like you can't find it streaming
I
anywhere.
don't want to know what else is on there.
There's nothing else on there. That's the only thing I have on there because it takes up all the space. Pause.
Jesus, that's a big show. That's a big show.
We're gonna need to use I'm gonna make I might just make DVDs out of it so I could pass out the DVDs to people. That'll
Yeah,
probably be
you
what
might
I
be
do.
the only source for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
side hustle right there.
They took the video store out of Mitsuma.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
They don't have one down here in Florida, so.
Haha.
They don't have a
Uh,
Mitsuha.
I'm probably going back up though
They
at the
don't
end of
have
March.
Asians.
Not confirmed, but might be back in Chicago at the end of March for
Okay.
certain events.
Okay.
Understandable. Understandable.
Don't
Well,
know
if
for
you're
sure.
here, we'll be happy to see you.
Okay, okay.
All right.
Your buddy's gonna be there.
So I was just curious, guys, if you want to stick around for a little bit longer, or you guys good to go for us of the day.
I gotta get going.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to finish taking up my pie chat test.
All right, or yeah, it was just good segue out.
But yeah, that was great. Thank you guys for inviting me. I
Of
love
course,
this.
man.
Oh,
Anytime,
man,
dude.
you know you're always welcome, man. If there's ever anything that you want to talk about, man, you know we're gonna check in with you, man. Just let us know. Hey, look, I want to talk about this.
Solo
Can we
leveling when
record?
it's finished.
Yes.
We know that.
We need to talk about solo leveling.
We know
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. When that season's over, when this season is over, we need to talk about that.
We're definitely
Might be
gonna
in
have to do
boot
a
camp, but the second I'm out. Actually, no,
Okay.
that'd be probably bad. So that'd be like 3.5 months worth.
Maybe for a deep dive, maybe for in that regard
Okay.
too. So,
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
always like circle back and do a deep dive of the show
Okay.
whenever you're available to do it.
Oh, it's Saturday. There's a new episode, Dangerous in My Heart.
You know, episode of
watch-
solo leveling too.
Yeah.
you guys are
Wait,
Wait,
Solo
is
leveling.
Shangri-La Saturday or Sunday?
What
Saturday.
happened?
Sunday.
I don't know. I don't keep track of days.
I think it's today. Solo leveling, it should be.
No,
Yeah,
he
solo
said
leveling's today.
Shangri-La.
It's Shangri-La. Shangri-La Sundays.
Yeah.
Right?
The wrong way to
Yeah.
use healing magic, though.
That's a good
That
show.
just sounded like redo of Healer, so I was staying away from that.
Yeah.
It's no, it's not. Oh my God, no.
It's not.
Not the same thing at all.
Not at all.
No, yeah, it's a fun show. It's fun.
I saw
It's
that,
a-
got scared of it.
yeah, it's a good comfort one. It's a good comfort anime. It's not like there's nothing questionable about that one at all.
Got
Thank
it.
God. Yeah,
It sounds worse than what it is.
yeah. It's
Tune
just,
into our winter wrap up in a couple weeks.
yeah. You'll get the lowdown on pretty much all the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen.
So,
it was nice talking to you.
You too.
great
Thank
talking
you
to you
guys.
all.
For coming.
You can
to,
stay in here as long as you want, but I gotta roll.
I
Thank
gotta
you
roll
for
too.
coming to the. Thank you for joining us on the 950 Club. We'll see you next time.
Boy,
Take care,
I
you
am-
guys.
I am
Take care.
atomic.
Peace.
There you go. Restaurant week review.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
There you go. We
Yeah.
can do that.
So where else did you guys end up going? Did you guys go anywhere else, or
I
'cause
didn't
went
get
to two
I
other
didn't
places.
get anywhere else. I did not
Okay.
get anywhere else. Um,
Was there any other places that you wanted to go? Because
there
we
was
only went
1,000 places that I wanted to go.
I have a
Wow.
whole folder of photos and TikTok videos of places I have to try.
to. Okay. But any that you specifically found during Restaurant Week or because of Restaurant Week? Because that listing, that website was really good.
I was on the point.
I found a bunch of places that I'd never heard of and want to try. Yeah. Like,
Well, we have yet to talk about Gyokaku. We could talk about Gyokaku.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
All right.
that was awesome. I was not expecting that to be as much fun or to taste as good as it did.
And it's a chain too. That's the most impressive part. There's a lot of chains. They kind of like if it feels like it's the only restaurant in the world, kind of feeling like there's others like this. Holy cow!
I didn't know it was a chain.
Yeah, there's at least 5 of them if I'm not mistaken. Most of them downtown.
Yeah. A few of these places were chains, I noticed.
Yeah,
And I
there's
was
some chain on
surprised.
there.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too. And I don't think they're chains in like the McDonald's sense, but like the owners have like a bunch of spots,
Right.
Yeah, that's what I
which
mean.
yeah.
Like, yeah, sometimes a lot of those places, like, they kind of disregard it, like, whatever. This is just our pet project, but no, this is like a full-on beautiful, place. Like,
And
all the care in the world.
well, that place seemed like it'd been there for a long time too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like it's been there. I was talking to Simon about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I pass there all the time, but I never went in."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you should go.
So now
Like,
he knows
it's
it's
really
yeah.
good."
Now he knows it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now he knows it's worth it because we went. That was a fun experience, man.
it was a fun
I
experience. So,
yeah.
like, to make it clear what we're doing. I don't know why I'm picking my hair.
Yeah.
It's just something to do. Um,
Or
Chicago Restaurant Week was for like 3 weeks in January, going to like the last Saturday,
mm-hmm.
and it is an opportunity for restaurants to get some more traffic during the slow time, to highlight their business, and to pick up new customers. So this is something that I've always done, and we introduced Jack to it, which was cool. And we went to Gaikaku, which was somewhere on Broadway in Chicago, right?
Belmont and Clark, if you dare.
It's the
Chicago,
Lakeview
It was
neighborhood.
on Broadway, but I think it between Belmont and Clark.
it's technically
Yeah.
Lakeview.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Lakeview
Lakeview.
area. Mm-hmm.
Lakeview, correct.
Yeah.
And Gaikaku is a Japanese barbecue restaurant. So if you've had Korean barbecue, think that, but like Japanese style food.
Yeah, the miso soup, the sushi. What was there was the other one? Well, the
We got miso
dumplings.
soup,
Dumplings.
sushi,
Oh,
Yeah.
that salad
a
too.
salad,
Yeah,
Edamame.
and
Edamame.
rice.
yeah.
Those
White
were
rice.
those were just the starters. Those were the starters, and then we were able to choose one appetizer. Oh my lord, I got the fried bacon.
That was delicious.
That was good.
That was delicious.
Jack, you got the spring rolls?
Spring rolls. Yeah, veggie. It was really good.
Mm,
And
those
I
were
think I
good.
got the fried dumplings,
Yeah, I think you
I
got the
believe.
dumplings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
Which
got the
were delicious.
dumplings.
Yeah.
And
And
then they had preset like main course meats that we could eat. And it was in like three different sets: set A, set B, set C. So each one of us got a set and we just all shared. All of the meat was delicious.
Oh yeah.
All of it. All of it was
The
delicious.
garlic pork, the garlic chicken, the shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
it,
shrimp.
it, the 21-day marinated steak,
Yeah. I think that was that a hanger steak?
hanger steak, I believe.
Yeah.
Chef kiss,
And I
man.
think we also
On
had
that one.
flat. I'm trying to think, like, what was like the main portion beef? Was it just regular beef?
I think that was just yakisoba.
Yakisoba. There you go. Yeah, and that's the one everyone shared, kind of thing. The biggest portion of
I
the
mean, we
lunch.
shared all of it, but I mean
Yeah.
that
Well,
that was the
Jack, you
biggest
ordered
serving.
well
Yeah.
because Jack ordered an extra serving of that.
Yeah.
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 Jack did they gave you the option of ordering an extra portion and Jack ordered an extra portion of that one.
No.
That's
Well,
why
yeah.
wasn't
What I
that
mean,
I mean
no, I was talking about like the one we all three of us with our three separate orders combined. Like they put it in one big plate. That was our final meat that we had.
no yeah
That was
that was you ordered. That's what you
yeah.
ordered.
Oh,
Jack.
I ordered the 21-day marinated one. That was the extra, the
Oh,
special.
okay. So it
Yeah.
wasn't an additional of the one we already had.
No.
Because there
Mhm.
was a lot of meat for that one.
Yeah, because that was like the three separate one, and they're like, we have to conserve our plates.
Oh.
And
Like, I don't remember
Yeah, it's
because it
fun.
might have been on a
This was
couple
like 3 weeks
different
ago. Yeah.
of the
it could be just a regular beef. It's just like their starter beef.
I mean, it's the like yakisoba you could get at like any Japanese restaurant. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty popular. So it's kind of like their marinated beef. And it's thinly sliced, so it's not like they are losing any money on it.
Yeah.
No, but it was delicious.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if it was in multiple sets or not. But I
They
mean,
had
it was still
no,
good.
because each set was a little bit different. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ordered the main I ordered like the beef centered one.
Yeah.
Because there was I think you ordered Jamal the one with the shrimp, and I
Yeah, I
think
got the
Jack
one with the
ordered
shrimp and chicken.
I ordered
yeah,
the garlic chicken.
yeah, yeah, because we each ordered one of the three sets,
Right.
so that like yeah, so we'd all have something different to taste. We
It
could
was
It, it, wa-
great.
so
it
we could
was
taste
worth it.
everything essentially. Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
definitely worth it. Because I think it's like $69. It's all you can eat,
Yeah.
but I think it's regularly $69.
Yeah.
And we paid
I
Almost,
think
like
that's about right.
yeah.
But
almost
four
similar.
courses,
Yeah.
because we got the dessert as well.
Hmm.
And
I
that was
think we got
Edwin's
the
first time.
s'mores.
Yeah.
That was my first time making a s'more over an open like that wasn't in my kitchen or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually it was my first time having a s'more because I would just toast marshmallows.
Mhm.
We didn't have the chocolate or the
Or
graham crackers.
you never went camping per se.
No, no, I'm not a big outdoors person. We've gone like we did a camp one time with my brother's school, but they didn't do like campfire stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Camping activities.
Hmm.
But the whole scenario, of, like for anime listeners listening in, think
Oh
of
yeah.
like the typical slice of life, the business anime or business romance anime with your coworkers, talking with your bosses over this Japanese grill. Like that's
Yeah.
like the layout, and you have beer, kapai,
Yep. Jack and I even had Japanese beers, which were delicious. That was great.
Sapporo, the premium,
I
yeah,
just had
draft.
a simple ginger ale and I was
Yeah,
happy with it.
No, we had the Kirby bond, didn't we?
yeah, Kuribon. Yeah, you're right. Correct.
Hmm.
You're correct.
Mhm.
Yeah. Isn't that your girlfriend's favorite drink?
Misatos.
Yep.
Hey.
Misato's favorite beer. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot to do the afterwards.
I went to I went to two other places.
Okay.
Um, let me bring them up because
Yeah, I believe you went to one Italian one.
I did, and it was oh my God, dude, that was so good.
How you were so quiet about that. I wanted to hear it.
Um, yeah, I had talked to somebody else about it, but let me bring it up since we're doing the restaurant week thing. I went to oh my God, what's the name of this place? Hold on, it was a little while ago, so let me bring that up. But it was really good. Um,
Edwin took full advantage of restaurant week. Me and Jamal only did one restaurant for this round.
I only got to one this year, man. I only got to one, but I'm usually well prepared to go to multiple.
Yeah,
So
and you've done like at least a whole bunch of them. That was literally my first time. But Chicago native all my life, and that was my first ever experience with my friends.
yeah, I mean, it's not just the Chicago thing. I think a lot of
cities do this.
any like all the little neighborhoods and cities usually have like a little thing at some point during the year.
Yeah,
Well, a lot of them will do a taste of.
Yeah,
They'll do like a taste of, but this
same
is
thing.
like, yeah. Um,
and ironically, Taste of Chicago is the worst of the bunch.
hey Jack, you take that back.
Wow.
It's not the
I used to love Taste of Chicago, man,
we
before
all
they
used to
ruined
love the
it.
taste of Chicago, but
The
it kind of
vintage,
lost its luster.
yeah, the
Yeah.
vintage. I'm talking about the like '90s when it just started, '80s. Yeah, that was prime real estate. It was just until like the mid 2000s or so it got really ridiculous.
You know what changed it?
Rahm
Lollapalooza.
Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel destroyed it.
Lollapalooza changed it. Lollapalooza changed it. Because before Lollapalooza, you used to get a lot of headline acts there. And if you got like big name acts that's going to the Taste Chicago, of course a restaurant's going to want to be there because this person's going to drive business and I'll get more people. Like, and once we got Lollapalooza and you got hundreds of main eventers flooding the streets for a couple weeks, Who's left for the Taste of Chicago?
Exactly.
Nobody.
So Lollapalooza killed it. Lollapalooza killed it. That's my theory.
That's pretty accurate.
That's my theory.
That's not. Is that
Yeah,
rigatoni? That's not
and
rigatoni.
like the idea of Taste of Chicago, like you're supposed to sample. It
Yeah.
got to a point where all the prices went up, like $15 for like a steak sandwich, for example. There goes like two other places you could have went, and there are people that casually go. And like back in the day, they would go at least 8 or 10 places. I remember my first time. I think that was about that amount, and my mom barely spent $40 altogether. It was just me and her. So
If you
you
went
know,
to Jewel, you can actually get discounted Taste of Chicago tickets.
yeah, good
Right.
call, Edwin.
I would go to
Yeah,
Jewel like the Taste of Chicago was. I would make a pilgrimage to the Taste of Chicago every year on my
Yeah.
own to try all the different restaurants that I couldn't
Mhm.
try um, anywhere. I wasn't going to go all over the city trying these places, but I'd go to the Taste of Chicago for a few days and have pizza or like empanadas or all kinds of stuff from all over the place.
yeah,
But yeah, you could actually go to Jewel and you could buy like strips of tickets that were discounted. They were
Yeah.
cheaper, and then you just went and yeah, Rahm Emanuel changed it. He changed the dates. He changed how long it was. He changed where it was
Mhm.
at, and he pretty much
Yep.
just destroyed the whole thing. And it became kind of like you could buy like $50 tickets to have like a special place where you could have like drinks and stuff like that,
Yeah.
separated
Yeah.
from the crowds. And I'm like, what's the point of this? The whole point is this is a summer festival where you can go and you can listen to, you can listen to like Stevie Wonder and like
yeah.
Mhm.
all other kinds of bands and like grab food and like walk around. I would do pizza. They had Chicago, they had what was it? I forgot what it was called. But you could buy like larger portions or you could buy taste portions. And the taste
Yes.
portions
Yes.
were always
Yep.
like a smaller, cheaper portion.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
taste portion, and those were only like 2 or 3 tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you could hit
thus,
like you could hit like a dozen different shops, and then I'd go to like the Dominic's booth or something and get like watermelon and pineapple and like
yeah,
Mhm.
I had my thing. I had my
Good
plan.
rotation. Yeah.
Yeah. I had my layout. I knew I had my plan. I ran it down and it was a lot of fun. Uh and that was and I got to meet Giada twice. That was
Mhm.
awesome. But he changed everything. He really ruined it. It was really sad. I was like,
and
dude,
mind you, we're talking about like downtown exclusive restaurants, places you probably never go in your life because of the price and the portion. Pricing was generous back in the day. That was the only time I had Mike Dick a steakhouse. Like
oh
I just
wow.
distinctly, yeah, I
Okay.
distinctly remember having a steak sandwich. Like this
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
Ramen
Yeah.
manual.
So
That was the thing.
I found the Italian place I went to. It's
Okay.
Oggi Trattoria. It's on Chicago Avenue by Ashland. Oh my God, this place, dude.
Ashland
So
has a lot of spots.
yeah, Chicago Avenue does too. There's that's I went to so I ate a lot that day.
Damn.
Uh so they had a special their bread is delicious. Number one. Number two, they had a special menu just for Chicago Restaurant Week. The first thing that I had was the sausage and peppers. Oh my God, let me tell you, dude. These sausage and peppers were delicious, dude. It was just a plate of like Italian, like sliced up Italian sausage with peppers, but that sauce, oh my God, I was just dipping the bread in that sauce. It was amazing. And then for the main meal, I had chicken parmesan. That sauce, that sauce by itself was worth going for. Then I had their tiramisu. The tiramisu was delicious too, and they made me a really good old fashioned. So it's expensive.
It
The
was like
drinks are
a bistro, right? Right? Or like a pub.
no, it's an Italian restaurant.
A straight up Italian restaurant. Wow.
hmm Yeah, straight up Italian restaurant. Really nice play, a nice atmosphere, really friendly service. That's one of the things that I think that was really cool about Restaurant Week was going and running into all these people and how nice the service was at
Oh
every,
yeah,
out of the three locations I went to, the service was really like the waiters and waitresses were really really cool, really laid back, really nice.
yeah. And it's like they're like because you're here officially, it's an advertising portion, and also hey, these people want the best of the best,
Yeah,
and we're
that
gonna give it to
that's
them.
those items aren't normally on their menu.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, like and which I'm kind of surprised by. And I think they made that so it could be affordable, but let me tell you, man, it was really good. If that's an indication of what their food is normally like, it's definitely worth the trip. And then the other place I did, I'll tell you about in just a second. Uh,
I'm trying to find it, and it's Chicago and Western,
no, near Chicago and Ashland, Jack.
or Chicago and Ashland.
Yeah, it's OGGI.
OGGI. There you
Yeah,
go. OG. Gotcha. Found
they
it.
actually featured three of my photos.
Ooh.
Yeah, I took a picture of the bar. I took a picture of the sausage and peppers, and I took a picture of the outside, and they featured all of them. You can see them on their website when you look them
Goo-
up in Google Maps.
Google Maps. I see it now.
Mhm. If you see the picture of the sausage and peppers, that's mine.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
And that was a soup, right?
No, that's just a plate. That's a very shallow plate of just
Wow.
sausage and peppers with a sauce. That sauce was chef's kiss, man. I couldn't even if they would have just given me the bread and a plate of that sauce, I would have been happy.
Damn.
Yeah. The sausage and the peppers was the bonus. Yeah.
Now I'm
And then
hungry.
I went to another place. This place is downtown. It's called Roka Roka Accor. It's a Japanese place.
That was one that was on my list. That was one that was
Jamal,
on my list.
let me tell you, man, you got to go to this place because that was delicious. I had Wagyu beef dumplings.
Hmm.
I had the deconstructed dumplings, I had the sushi. I had the Wagyu beef steak. Yeah, let me tell you, man, they had a truffle aioli,
Hmm.
and it came with so on the side, the steak came with this broccoli garlic thing.
Hmm.
Oh, dude, I ate that whole plate and I wanted more of the broccoli.
This was a
Uh,
chain too. Holy cow.
yeah, it was like, let me tell you, it was phenomenal. That place was, I'm glad I dressed up though. I mean, not everybody was dressed up, but I'm glad I did because the interior was pretty nice. It's definitely a nice place if you want to impress people from out of town or you want to impress a date. But golly, I mean, hold on a second. It's not, give me a second, guys. It's not a cheap place. With the drinks and everything, I ended up spending like 132.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But see, the good thing is you went during restaurant week, so
Yeah. Well, it
it
not
would have
only
been
made it,
worse.
yeah, it made it affordable so that I can try it. It was the drinks that kind of added up.
Yeah,
I had
You're
especially downtown, the drinks are going to add up fast.
were you
oh yeah.
lounge singing? Were you trying to do karaoke?
No, there's other stuff to that night that happened that I won't talk about, I won't get into, but
All right.
those drinks, let me tell you, man. Oh my God. It was old fashions made with Japanese whiskey.
Japanese whiskey is underrated. Very underrated.
Oh, let me tell you, man.
That's gonna be a checklist hobby of mine one day.
You
I've
could
only
feel
done
that.
at least 5 of them.
Yeah, you could feel that. Like, yeah, I felt those. I felt those. Yeah, that was yeah, definitely worth the experience. Definitely worth going. That food was delicious. Jamal, you were not wrong. Those Wagyu steaks are. I ordered mine medium,
Hmm.
and it was. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, that
Melt
was
in your
worth.
mouth.
Yeah, that was worth the experience. That was worth going to. There's a few other places like Smoke Daddy, in
I've been
Wicker
there.
Park.
That one's good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that. I believe Soul and Smoke. I saw.
Stolen
Uh,
smoke's cool.
yeah, there was a few other places that just like I'll have to like we'll have to go over our list of places, and as we go to them, we'll have to talk about them on the podcast. But yeah, it was. I don't have any complaints. I don't have any complaints about the service, the atmosphere, the cleanliness. These places were great. Chicago Restaurant Week. I just wish they would advertise themselves a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because Jack didn't know about it, and then Short Round didn't know about it. So I'm surprised by the people. And these aren't people where like um the people who don't know about it. I'm surprised that they don't know about it because
It,
they're like,
it's not like a word of mouth thing per se, but it's kind of like
well, it is
oh
for us because
no
we
no
had to. Yeah,
what I mean is that like people hear the name and it's like one of those things like, oh, that's a nice feature until they read about it. Like it's like you don't tell word of mouth, you have to show of mouth, you know what I mean? Like actually show the restaurants listed, what you get out of it, then you'll be like, oh, okay, so
I don't
I'll
think you
definitely
need
do
to
it.
do all that. I think just
for some,
advertise it more. Put it on the
yeah,
side of the buses. Put it on the CTA.
yeah.
Put
Yeah,
it on the train.
as long as it lists all the restaurants and people are like,
You
oh,
know.
that's one of them I want to try. There
And I
you
wish
go.
that a lot of people
No,
get their
because I
list.
mean, the thing about Restaurant Week is it's about discovering things that you don't know about.
Hmm.
So, like, you
That
put the
too.
restaurant names on there. Like, I wouldn't have known what Gaikaku is if it wasn't for Restaurant Week and being able to see the menu and all the stuff that comes with it. I
Yeah,
wouldn't know.
yeah,
Like, so if you put up like I don't know, like Capital Grill, I'll be like, oh, I drive by that all the time.
yeah,
Okay, great, big whoop. But when you see that there's like 500 restaurants participating, you kind of get lost in going through all these different restaurants. It takes a long time to go
yeah,
through, like, oh, what's this? All right,
Yeah.
let me click the menu, see what's on the menu. Oh, they have that? And then you look at the area and you're like, oh, that's around this. It's just a ton of different things, man. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, you could certainly highlight some of the bigger ones. I mean, and they had them on there, but I don't think highlighting the restaurants really mean anything. It's
Well,
about
it's like a
well,
give or take kind of thing. Like if you know a restaurant, like seen reviews, articles on it, like those type of people, the people that will actually do it, kind of thing. It's just a give or take sometimes. And yeah, you're right. It's rather more of discovery than anything.
yeah,
well, yeah, because I noticed I found restaurants in my own neighborhood that I didn't know about, but like I'm like, I'll try that now. It's like
yeah,
there's a place right next door to Pauly G's. We've all been to Pauly G's. There's a
right,
Mexican restaurant right next door. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. I'll try it. I mean, I might just go that one time,
right,
but at least, I mean, that helps them out,
Yeah, it
because
it
it gets somebody in the door.
it give them that special time, and apologies is a staple, and like you can go with apologies so many times. Why not at the other place one time, just once, and you'd be
Yeah.
amazed. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll keep some of these places open because, um, like some of them were like that Soul and Smoke, the one in Avondale, I
hmm,
think is the neighborhood that it lists itself under. Um, yeah, that's pretty out of the way.
yeah,
So this restaurant week is probably going to help them get some attention and get some customers in there because otherwise I've been like, I don't know where this place is at.
right,
yeah.
Yeah. And it's
absolutely,
like, um, I don't know of these I don't know. There's a lot of places that I just don't know about because I'm like, what's happened? Like you just don't know because there's so many places, especially here in Logan Square. There's so many places opening up where you're just like, I can't keep track of all these
Yeah,
places. I can't.
and some of them close down right before you know it. And the last couple years, 3 or 4 years, looking at my Google Maps because I have labels want to go, going to go, coffee places, this and that and that and this. And
Oh
sure
yeah,
enough, there's that one. I'm like, oh, okay, I have time to go there.
it's
I
gone.
remember it's gone and
Yeah,
permanently
Mhm.
closed. That's the most depressing thing you'll ever see with on the Google Maps. And you're like, all right, I gotta do a little bit better. That's why I'm doing photo galleries because that one I at least have a visual and I can categorize. Oh, maybe I'll try Japanese. Maybe I'll try Korean finally. Indian, you name it.
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's the good thing about it is like it gives me something to do. Because I'll sit there and I'll be like, I'm in the mood for something. And it's like, I don't want to get what I normally get. Let me get something different. And then I could just go into and be like, oh, okay, well, let me see what's on my list. Okay, this is around here. Let me go here.
yeah.
Or I'll happen to be in the area and be like, oh, wow, I saw about that place. Let me go. You know, just driving by.
Yeah, and you can aim for a neighborhood. Like if you have a goal in mind. Oh, I haven't gotten my haircut in a while. And like for example, my barber's in Lincoln Square or North Center. Oh, okay, I can go to that one restaurant on Irving Park.
Yeah, that's what I did when I went to the Japanese place downtown. I'm like, you know what? Let me see what else is around. But I also did that at the Italian place, and I found a fry the coop
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
a block away, and I'm like, oh, let me try that. I just brought that sandwich home because there was no way I was going to eat anything else. But yeah, I've started to do that more and more with the Google Maps because I did that when I went to New York just to see like what's around me or like where I wanted to go and then what was around those locations. And if I can park my car and walk a few blocks to different locations, I'll do it because that's the easiest way to do it now.
Mhm.
With
Yeah.
the way, yeah, yeah. So it's like, okay, I'll have a destination in mind and I'll be like, well, let me hit a few different places. If I'm gonna
Yeah.
do, yeah, if I'm gonna go to a used bookstore, let me see what's around the used bookstore. Maybe I can
Mhm.
catch a meal or find a bakery or someplace. Yeah,
Yeah. Make an experience out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Make a day or an experience out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bakery in general, that's becoming a little like more of a hotbed by the minute. And like there's already like 20 others to try. Like if you think of like a one category, you narrow down at least one of them. Okay, let me try this one. I'll I'll go to my favorite another time. You rotate. That's me with
yeah,
coffee places. Because I have a favorite, I have standards, but if there's experimental one, I'll make it like once a month kind of thing.
yeah. I've got two bakeries actually, not even 2 blocks from me that are like super hot right now.
Yeah, the
Like,
one that you mentioned that it sells out within the morning, right?
yeah, both of them actually. Both of them. It's like if you're not there in the morning, then it's just forget about it. If you're not there in that line that they have in the morning, forget about it. Yeah.
Plug in those bakeries. What are their names?
One of them is Sugar Moon Bakery. That's on Wrightwood, near Central Park. And the other one is, give me just a second. Pond Artisanal Bakery, right on Fullerton and Ridgeway Avenue.
Wow.
They've actually been broken into twice. This
Wow.
year. Yeah. There's been a police car parked not that far from them because they've been broken into twice, and they're only
Mm.
open 3 days a week now, um, I believe, and so they get yeah, it's pretty sad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess because the location isn't open during the week, so it's pretty much empty. So I guess these people think that like they're just breaking in because they're only there, like I said, 3 days a week. So the rest of the week, the location just sits by itself. So I guess these people figure I'm going to break in and take whatever's there. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Very odd.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Very odd.
the sad part is though, is that your insurance is only going to keep you for so long.
Right.
That keeps happening, they're going to drop you because they're losing thousands of dollars
Mm-hmm.
on window repairs and whatever repairs they have to do. So yeah, that's kind of sad. But yeah, those two bakeries have gotten really popular. Um, yeah, so that's always the cool thing. You can always check out like other places that are in the neighborhoods, and like Jamal said, make an experience of it.
Yeah, I've yet to really test the waters with West Loop and Ukrainian Village. These Pilsen's always a top consideration. It's like,
Dude, I
yeah,
I go I go whenever I have an excuse to go down to like the medical village, the
Chinatown or near there.
no, just the medical neighborhood over down there on Ashland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll go down 18th Street. There's a little the people who do the tortillas that you can buy at the store. Right
Mm-hmm.
next door, they have their own restaurant,
Wow, I never
and
knew.
so I always go get tamales from them because they make them fresh. There's nothing like Pilsen tamales, man. Let me tell you, dude. Yeah,
Nothing compares.
no, no. It's like get out of here with that. Yeah, dude. Oh man, they're moist. There's a few places up here on the north side. You can find a few good spots. Most restaurants that serve them, it's if that's not like what that is that's not one of the main things that they do, they can be a little bit dry.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
But you go down to the side, they're making them fresh there. You can buy like a dozen, and they're still like they're moist. They have the moisture, and they're delicious.
Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the 950 Club podcast. We had a great time talking about Eminence and Shadow and getting Kyle's top 10 anime of 2023 to add to our list. We generally don't do too much editing out of content on our shows. We just kind of clean up a little of the background noise and everything. But out of respect for Kyle and his aspirations to join the military, we did have some parts of our conversation where we delved into politics and religion. And out of respect for him and his future endeavors, we did edit those clips out. But we just want to say thank you, Kyle, for once again joining us on the show. And we wish you well and hope that the Marines provide everything that you're looking for. And thank you for giving the country a service, man. We do appreciate you. And we look forward to having you back again soon.